I'm back with Sage, the 6-year-old, in his ugly mustard green, hideous chartreuse. What was that color that Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc. really liked? Hideous shirt color. And I'm gonna freaking erase him. There are a variety of approaches to the study of individual differences in cognitive ability. 3 areas that are commonly assessed by current cognitive abilities tests are verbal abilities, spatial ability, and logical and mathematical. That's 4. Reasoning ability. Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences approach added several additional core domains of intelligence based on developmental and neuropsychological evidence, such as musical ability and interpersonal or emotional intelligence. Other approaches to intelligence view intellectual abilities as a hierarchy, that is most people, with general intelligence, or G, at the top, and various other abilities such as verbal, spatial ability underneath. RIP. In My Virtual Child, 5 areas of ability are represented, loosely placed, based on Gardner's multiple intelligences framework: verbal ability, spatial ability, logical mathematical ability, musical ability, and bodily kinesthetic ability. I bet my boy has all of these except freaking... No, I bet he has all of these. He's the avatar. These abilities are influenced by your questionnaire responses and change slowly in response to parenting choices and random events. The behavior of your virtual child is consistent with the child's developmental level. For example, virtual children who are low in verbal ability go through the language milestones, such as speaking grammatical sentences, at a slower rate in the first 3 years. I bet that's, mimics real children as well. Have a smaller vocabulary in early childhood, and have lower interest in reading and writing. And lower reading comprehension in middle childhood and adolescence than is the case for children of average or above average verbal ability. Distracted by this video.
The principle of conservation is the concept that changing the appearance of an object does not necessarily change other properties of the object.
Hey, I was just talking about this literally yesterday.
Tasks to measure this concept.
This is the water.
Now I'm going to bring out some chunks of Play-Doh. Okay.
Which one is bigger?
2 chunks of Play-Doh. Now, do they have the same amount or a different amount?
The same amount.
They have the same amount. Okay. Now watch what I do.
I would also say the same amount.
Oops.
Even though the pink one looks kind of bigger, but I think the answer is supposed to be same.
Oop, that one's coming apart.
This kid is judging her two rolling skills.
Now, do they have the same amount or a different amount?
A different amount.
A different amount. Okay, now why? Can you explain why?
You rolled it.
I rolled it. Which one do you think has more? That one has more? Very good. Do they have the same amount?
She watched her change the amount before her very eyes. That's a witch.
Which one has more?
This one.
That one has more? Can
That's
you tell
crazy.
Because it's longer.
Now, do they have the same amount or a different amount?
A different one.
They have a different amount? Which one do you think has more?
That's crazy.
That has more? Can you tell me why that has more?
Because this one is a line and this one is a circle.
Okay, so is that the same amount of clay or a different amount of clay?
Same.
The same? How come?
Because even though you spread it out, it's still the same.
Now show me a
Oh,
6-year-old. Somewhere between 5 and 7, they figure it out. That's so cute.
So today I have some special coins. I'm going to put them out for you to see. Put them here. Put them here. Okay. Now, do they have the same number or a different number?
Same.
They have the same. You are so
I
smart.
think 3-year-olds can't even
Right, that's
count
what I'm
quite
doing.
yet either, so this would be rough for them.
Now, do they have the same number or a different number?
Down bigger.
That one's bigger. Can you tell me why that's bigger? They're farther apart. Does this line have the same number or a different number than this?
A different number.
A different number? And can you tell me why again? Why it has a different number?
Because the living spaces and these are living between each other.
I will also say kids count the spaces.
Now, is it the same
When
number or
learning
a
how to
different number?
count in sequences, they will count the space as a number.
Work together. It was the same length both of the lines.
Okay, and why is it the same now?
Because all you did was spread them out, but you didn't take any or put more in.
Now, is there the same number of coins in each line or a different?
This is literally what I was just talking
The
about.
same? How come?
What?
Even though they're separate, there's
I want to show you. It's is it called conservation? So she had like 2 balls of Play-Doh, right? Of the same amount, and she rolled it. And they all consistently said that the rolled out one had more Play-Doh because it was, I guess, longer was the key there.
Oh.
But then 7-year-olds, you can't fool them. So between like 5 and 7, something happens. They didn't show any 6-year-olds, so I don't know what's up with the 6-year-olds. 6-year-olds don't
They're in the
exist. 6-year-olds don't exist in this universe, I guess. But by 7, they've learned that, and they're like, it's the same. Also with coins, I know that with number sequences, they will count a space in between numbers as a number. So they'll be like 1, 2, 2, like 3, 4. Like they'll count in order, but they will count the space as a number. It's so cute. And so that's something you have to look out for when teaching them.
still the same.
They're still the same?
Oh, there's still liquid one. That's what I was talking about.
I'm gonna put these.
Ooh, dog.
here. Okay.
I'm curious to see which one she says has more, though.
Do these 2 glasses have the same amount or different?
It's gonna be the glass that looks more full, even if it's
They have the
smaller,
same.
right?
All right.
I don't know. That's what I was wondering. I was like, I don't know. Oh, it looks like it has more because it's
Now,
taller.
do they have
Okay.
the same amount or are they different?
Different.
They're
That would fool
different.
me.
Good. And why are they different?
That is actually shocking. Yeah, that's a wild glass.
Yeah, that would fool me.
That's some Starbucks nonsense right
Yeah,
there.
true. But then I think it's the knowledge that like you literally saw it poured in front of you,
Yeah.
and then it's like, well, which one has more? And it's
Yeah,
like,
what she saw, this girl was funny because she watched her roll it out in front of her and put it down. I mean, they all do it. They watch it change in front of them, so they're like, But and then she asks her, why do you think the Play-Doh is bigger? And she's like, 'cause you rolled it. So her reasoning was the magic of rolling it made it
made bigger.
bigger somehow. I'm not sure. So I guess if the liquid line appears above the shorter glass, then it would appear like there is more liquid in there. So they are using logic.
I poured it from this
And her
glass
reason is you poured it.
into there.
So there's
And
more
that's why
now.
they're different.
They poured it.
Do they have the same amount or different?
Different.
They have a different amount. Which one has more?
I'm gonna call Dad
That
to
has
see what he
more.
called.
Very good.
Yeah.
Now, why does that have more, Liam?
Because bigger.
It's bigger. Do they have the same amount or different?
Different.
A different amount? Which one has more?
This one.
That one has more. And why do you think that has more?
Because this is a big cup and this is a small cup.
Okay, now, is there the same amount of juice or a different amount of juice?
The same.
The same? How come?
Because you didn't add any juice or take any away. You just poured this into this cup.
There's the same amount of juice or a different amount of juice?
Same.
There's the same. How come?
As children age, they develop the ability to focus on more than one dimension at
Same, girl, same. Sage's memory is getting better. He could beat me on certain memory games, such as concentration, because he remembers where the cards are located. My memory must be absolutely shot. But when he tells people about things that happened to him, he leaves out a lot of details, and I read that completely wrong. And sometimes gets the order wrong, just like me. You join in the retelling of the experience, prompting Sage with questions, rather than just bursting in and telling it yourself. I mean, yeah, but also I have no memory either, it would seem. Sage seems to be generally very responsible and helpful, but sometimes he is busy playing when it is time for homework, dinner, bath, or bed. And he doesn't want to stop the activity. I am awful today. You have usually given him 5 minutes, quotes, to finish up, and he's been very cooperative about it. Is this that time blindness? I bet that's that time blindness. You think it is time for Sage to do some simple chores around the house, such as raking leaves or folding laundry, so you show him how to do it and praise him for helping. You decide that sometimes Sage must be prepared to respond immediately, so you stop allowing the 5-minute delay and insist that Sage follow your request in 1 minute or lose a privilege. Oh, he's got time blindness. Sage is ADHD, right?
Yeah. Sage
Okay.
is ADHD, and then
Cardamom. He's got the tism.
has the tism.
Yes. So this is like
E.
your
Let's
son.
say E.
Your son gets distracted, and I give him quote unquote 5 minutes, which makes me think it's not actually 5 minutes. It's just whatever I want. You are so confident that Sage will follow the rules that you allow him to set his own schedule for homework, TV, bath, reading, and bedtime. You feel this encourages Sage to be more independent. I mean, if he was actually good at it, that would be fine. But he's a 6-year-old. So he's got that time blindness, babes. 2 weeks ago, Sage fell off the climbing gym at school and broke his arm. Bro! Sage and the entire family went through a bad couple of weeks with the pain and difficulty sleeping that Sage experienced. I don't know why we all would suffer. Sage alternates between enjoying the extra attention from the family and being cranky and out of sorts. I mean, yeah, he broke his arm.
I'll do it.
Am I gonna be like grandpa and like lift it and be like, it's not broken. It's fine. Rub some dirt on it. No, it was funny. It was a clean break. Sage is doing very well in math. No, don't make him a math nerd. That's so stereotypical. First grade math is coming quite easily to him, but his favorite subject seems to be science. Well, it's just so basic. It's just like all the research was on like little ADHD boys that are white. So I'm just like, okay. Both parents enjoy taking... I can't speak for both of us. I mean, come on. Both parents enjoy taking Sage to the Children's Science Museum, the Natural History Museum, and checking out library books on topics of interest to Sage and reading them aloud. I mean, yeah. You think this is really cool and watch a lot of TV shows dealing with scientific topics with Sage. I would also do that if he wanted me to. Like,
If you wanted me to.
Mythbusters would be really fun.
I love Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
You really work on Sage's math skills with workbooks as you want him to be a full year ahead and go into 3rd grade math by the time 2nd grade rolls around. I mean, he's on track for that anyway, so... Sage really knows the routines now in restaurants and only occasionally gets rambunctious. Rowdy and rambunctious. You hope that Sage's behavior will help Cardamon learn some self-control in restaurants. Foreshadowing. I feel like Cardamon's actually going to be like the good baby. Sage is physically active, enjoys exercise, and those are the same things, and seems to have some athletic talent. Based on Sage's interest, you enroll him in... Alright, what sport do we want to enroll him in? There's soccer and baseball, basketball and tennis, swimming and water polo. What's water polo?
I don't know.
And hockey. Why is there like no volleyball option?
Hockey.
Why is dance not an option? What about freaking ping pong? I don't know. Chess? Let's see. I'm personally leaning towards hockey, but
Hockey.
I think soccer, baseball, because these are running games. Basketball and tennis are like hand-eye coordination games.
So is hockey, though.
Hockey adds a little bit of both.
Hockey has also a lot of... It's like full-body cardio.
That's
which I guess
true.
all of them are.
Is it ice hockey or is it like ground hockey? That kind of, I mean, it doesn't...
Ice hockey.
No, because it doesn't specify. It just says hockey. And we play hockey, quote unquote, in the gym with like a little rubber ball. I don't know. I liked hockey. I'm going to say hockey.
Yay.
Sage is pretty good at learning the words of songs in school and has a decent voice. Hey! You ask him if he would like voice or piano lessons, but he's not very enthusiastic. However, Sage starts to learn how to play the electronic keyboard at home, following the simplified musical notation in the little book. Apparently we have an electronic keyboard, not something I would own. I would have a harpsichord. Thank you very much. Sage's school hired a teacher who is fluent in English and Mandarin. One first-grade classroom will be taught as a dual immersion bilingual class, and the teacher will stay with them into 2nd grade. The teacher will spend equal amounts of time in English and Chinese language, arts, and reading. One additional subject will be taught in Chinese, math, that seems stereotypical, and the other is in English, social studies, and science. Classroom conversations will be in one language or the other on alternate days to encourage the children to speak to each other in both languages, and some native Chinese-speaking children will be in the class. This is great, and I think more classes need to do this. You sign up early to get Sage in the class because you've read that this type of bilingual experience boosts language, flexible thinking, cultural understanding. To be fair, they're supposed to be learning their 2nd language by age 5, so yeah. Just, you want to see if the program is successful first? Absolutely not. It will work. I already know that. You believe that mastering reading and writing in English will be challenging enough for Sage in the 1st grade, so you select the English-only class. Sage has 2 friends who'll be in the all-English class and wants to be in their class, so you go with that option. Make new friends. Suffer. The conflict with your partner has grown... What conflict? All the stupid stuff they say? And you have recently separated. Heck yeah. Let's celebrate. Sage and his brother are living with you. I got the kids! You speak to your partner fairly often about the kids, and most decisions you make have been discussed and agreed upon with your partner. You generally try to get along pleasantly with her because of the kids, but you still have some arguments. See, this isn't very lesbian.
Divorce.
No, it's literally you've separated.
Oh,
It's
good.
it's not very gay though to like none of this is very gay. Sage seems nervous and unsure of himself and is more dependent on you or your partner. I mean, yeah. However, the first grade teacher doesn't notice any major change, and Sage is still getting along well with the other children and highly involved in school. That's because I'm the cool parent. Sage tends to imitate things you and your partner obviously enjoy doing, as well as male role models in TV shows and movies. See, like, why would he... I mean, yeah, I guess. You're concerned about whether Sage is developing a typical American male gender role concept of himself.
Oh no.
You go out of your way to expose him to traditionally masculine role models,
No,
like
what?
RuPaul and Dante Basco. You and your partner... Why is my partner still involved if I separated? Get her out of here. You and your partner believe that traditional gender roles are too extreme, and your goal is for Sage to develop positive features of both the traditional gender roles in America. Why America specifically, though? You know that children of this age have a well-developed gender schema, i.e. they unconsciously seek out role models that fit their stereotyped notions of male-female behavior, so you don't do anything special. I'm gonna say both. The best of both worlds. Hannah Montana. Sage is able to hold his own in conversations with adults and uses some surprise... I love how that's worded like it's a fight. And because they are. Oh my god. And uses some surprisingly difficult words in his speech. It's from reading Percy Jackson. Thank you so much. He is also beginning to use this vocabulary in his writing for school. You and Sage enjoy it when you read aloud to him from some old favorites like Percy Jackson, thank you so much, but also some new books at the 3rd grade level. You keep trying to find verbal games that Sage
Percy
and you...
Jackson 2.
like the Sea of Monsters. Such as rhyming games, card games, board games. You continue to go on outings to museums. I mean, yes. You try to introduce more fun into Sage's life by getting a really cool video game set and playing games together for hours and hours. One of these things is not like the other. You could also play verbal video games. That's also, like, not horrible. Thank you. Oh my god. I guess I'm gonna introduce books. I like reading. And it's a together activity. Sage started to read some easy rhyming books toward the end of kindergarten. In 1st grade, he really seems to be taking off, and is reading 1st and even 2nd grade books. You follow Sage's lead and help him as he reads his favorite books over and over again. You know that Sage needs to have really good phonological awareness and decoding skills to be a good reader. So you buy a computer program that is a lot of fun and helps Sage practice these skills. You gotta go. I'm so sorry. I mean, I guess you could sit in my lap, because I'm just clicking a mouse. Come on, you gotta get in my lap then. You can't... Bro, you're blocking my screen. The moment I'm losing the fight. Because Sage already has good phonological awareness and has learned to decode, you figure the best thing would be to find fun and challenging new books for him to read with your help. I'm gonna say that one because it implies... Oh gosh. It implies that he's already good at it, and then you would want new stuff to challenge him. Sage gets along very well with other children on an individual basis and is not shy at all. We killed the shyness. Hello. But is not a peer leader or one of the more popular kids in his grade. Oh, boo-hoo. You invite children Sage likes over in groups for outings or parties and try to make sure they have a good time. You watch Sage interact with other kids and after-school recreational activities, hockey, just say hockey, and make some suggestions about things Sage could have done differently. You work on developing a best friendship for Sage by getting to know the parents of his favorite kid and arranging more frequent get-together. Yes. Although, the first one is not terrible. Oh god. Cardamom continues to show some unusual... Atlas, I swear to god. Some unusual behavior, such as repetitive hand movements and sounds, and lags in developing appropriate social skills compared to other 3-year-olds. He has fleeting eye contact, prefers to play alone, and sometimes gets upset or frustrated by seemingly small changes in his daily routine. This is all just textbook stuff, dude. He is delayed in language. Give me something, like, fun and exciting. Like, he's eating the soap.
What do you do?
Is that weird? He's just rubbing his feet on the wall. Is that weird? I don't know. Maybe?
Do you let him?
Do you continue letting him rub his feet on your popcorn wall?
Oh, that would feel so awesome.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's weird and it's not, it aligns, but it's also not textbook like, something's weird with my son. Goes to look it up. Is he fleeting eye contact? It's not unique. Come on. He's delayed in language development, tends to repeat words over and over again.
This close to the TV.
Well, that could be blindness.
3 inches.
A developmental behavior pediatrician evaluates Cardamom and diagnoses him with autism spectrum disorder. No one is surprised.
Never saw it coming.
Yeah, the repetitive movements and sounds are called stimming. We all know this, and this is an attempt by Cardamom to deal with stressful situations. The diagnosis qualifies Cardamom for a multi-practitioner intervention by a behavioral technician, a psychologist by an occupational therapist. Sage is puzzled as to why Cardamom sometimes doesn't like to play with him. Why is there no end quote? You explain to Sage that Cardamom has ASD, which means he thinks and experiences the world differently. You don't do anything different for Sage or Cardamom and wait for services to kick in. Services to kick in? What is... Explain to Sage that Cardamom has ASD. Oh, so regardless, I'm explaining it to him, which means he thinks and experiences the world differently. Find some books on neurodiversity to share with Sage and wait for services to kick in. You try to increase Cardamom's positive behaviors and decrease challenging ones, as well as help him cope with stress by limiting situations where Cardamom gets upset and starts stimming, and by talking quietly and directly to him. Blah, blah, blah. You quickly find some books on Sage. You try to increase Cardamom's... what's different than this? I'm just not limiting the situation, I guess. Even though you put a positive spin on the diagnosis and are relieved Cardamom will be getting services, you can't help but feel somewhat depressed at Cardamom's behavioral challenges. Boo-be-doo-be-doo-be-doo. Sage is trying to tie his tennis shoes, and you hear him say, "I can't do it, I'm just no good." That's me. Over and over again. You don't want Sage to approach these life situations with a fixed mindset. No son of mine's gonna have a fixed mindset. Where no effort will be enough to overcome his challenges. You praise his effort, and even though it's hard to watch, you give Sage the time and space to try and fail.
That's hard to watch.
You swoop in to fix things. You don't want your baby to struggle, even for a bit. That's called helicopter parenting. I'm gonna start taking this approach to, like, being a mercy maid, where it's like watching the soldier die because he can't shoot the freaking echo, and I'll be like, while he's ulting. You give Sage the time and space to try and fail at tiny above you. But after some time, you help him to gain some confidence. You let Sage struggle with the laces and know that he won't get it very soon, as he is so close. This approach, you think, will build grit. The grit. Let's see. What's the difference between these two? I mean, this mentions... Yes, this is the same thing. Kind of. I mean, but also, like... You know, Sage is about ready to finish first grade. Yay! Both parents are working. We're not involved anymore. Stop talking about her. It's unethical. Cardamom is in preschool. Yippee! Sage grows serious one day and says something to the effect that you are nicer to him than other parents are to their kids. I am. Thank you for noticing. I am top 15%, actually, Sage. He adds that you have more rules, i.e. you are stricter than other kids' parents. You are a little surprised that Sage is so aware of how other parents behave. How would he be, though? Because, like, he would only witness children being picked up from school, I think, or friends' houses.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I haven't been listening. What was the question?
Sage says I'm a great parent, but I don't know how he would have other parents to compare to.
Oh. I mean,
as like a 6-year-old. I don't know. Well, I'll take it,
maybe
but
like
also...
the TV.
Maybe. You like the neighborhood where Sage goes to school and hope you can stay on through his brother's time in school. Is this foreshadowing? Like, what's the point? That's it. You went to a teacher conference. That's my favorite! And the teacher went over Sage's first grade report card. The report card uses developmental categories rather than traditional grades.
Why isn't he diagnosed with ADHD yet?
Even better. Some of the results were expected, but some of them surprised you, and you decide Sage's behavior must differ somewhat at home. Look at his face. This kid doesn't blink.
Why is your other wife still trusting this guy?
Oh, his color's so hideous. Some highlights of the first grade report card were the following ratings. Demonstrates strength in the areas of speaking and listening and in content knowledge of social studies and science. Demonstrates strength. I cannot. Demonstrates strength? Say it. Try saying that.
Demonstrates strength.
I hate you. Die 1,000 deaths. Reading and writing, strength in the areas of math, problem solving. You're so funny.
Thank you.
Problems. Hello. Understanding of data and number concepts. Usually works cooperatively. I can't speak today. In groups. Usually respects rights and property of others. And usually demonstrates appropriate peer social interaction. So yeah, socially he's a little weaker. Strength in the areas of spatial understanding, visual arts.
As he gets older.
What? Why do you say that? Usually appropriately active during recess and physical games, and appropriately quiet during periods of work in the classroom setting. He did not show an unusual amount of impulsive or distractible behavior. Consistently works independently, consistently listens attentively and follows directions, and consistently follows classroom rules. In the comments section, the teacher wrote, "Pleasure to have in class." No, I'm just kidding. Sage occasionally gets upset in stressful situations, but usually calms down fairly quickly. Again, what child wouldn't? I'd like to see a child in a stressful situation remain calm. That's honestly more of a red flag, where it's like, this child cannot be stressed out. And it's like, I've tried everything. So we are strong
He
in
likes
everything.
the dark. I've turned off the lights and he likes it.
We are strong in most like school subjects, weaker in social, but nothing bad. Just like, hey, could improve. Doesn't have to, but could. How well is your child adapting to social situations in the home and outside the home? Pretty well, I'd say. Thanks for asking. Does your child have any behavioral emotional problems at this point? Not problems. But I'm gonna say like things to work on, you know? Things to work on.
Realistic reactions to stress.
Yeah. Why do you think these problems are occurring? What are you doing about them? No problems, thank you.
I'm not doing anything. Thank you. Also, I'm not taking questions. Thank
I'm not taking questions at this time. Do you notice any improvements in cognitive and language skills since age 4? Yeah, he talks. He talks so much. He basically has, I'm gonna say advanced reading for age. Advanced reading for age. I'm probably gonna say like speaking as well. Conversing. Give specific examples. I didn't raise him, so I don't have like specific examples, but it did.
read this rhyming.
Well, it said, yeah, like, has advanced vocabulary for age was something that they said. Does your child have any special needs with regard to cognitive or language development at this point, and what do you plan to do? No needs at this point.
And
Yeah, especially for learning. Like, he's good with math, science, language. Like, he's good at all that stuff.
as of
Socially,
now,
yeah.
I remember when school was.
He's a
easy,
gifted kid right
and then it
now.
started getting hard.
Yeah, it's the
And then
same
I
and then
was
it
like,
plateaus. Like, you stay the same and then socially it gets harder. So then I think, you know, can always improve socially. I can't, right? I can't do nothing. I'm helpless. Which aspects of your child's behavior and personality reflect continuities from earlier behavior, and which seem to be novel for this age level? Oh God, I don't remember him being 4. That was like 4 hours ago, and a week. Oh, he was more shy. 4 and not shy at all now.
He's not a leader.
He's not a leader, but he's not shy. Also, I don't care if he's a leader.
No, I know, but it asks like what was like unique.
Oh, that's not unique. It's personality-wise. Personality.
Jeez, okay.
Sorry. What's personality unique
Yeah,
to
idiocy.
6-year-olds? No, because it's not diagnosed yet. They're hinting at it. Was he showing an interest in? Sport. Activity levels are higher. That's not personality. Which is unique for his age. No. I'm just gonna activity levels are higher. Yippee! 8 years old. We jumped from 6 to 8?
What happened at 7?
Well, huh? You suffer a sudden bout of depression, don't I ever? Brought on by stress and the death of your grandmother.
What?
Rest in peace. Which one? I have 3.
Yeah, which one? Yeah.
Which one? Which one do you want to kill first? Grandmother Rita, maybe? We can get money, maybe? I don't know. No, maybe not.
I feel like Grandma B would die first.
I'm a bee would die first. Rip.
Are you being realistic or?
Your friends and partner. Why is my partner still here? Been offering sympathy and help, but the kids don't understand.
Get that
I feel like the kids
girl
would
outta
understand.
here. I was just
Yeah, I'm not with her. And also the kids would understand because I would explain death to them. He's 8 years old and Cardamon is like 4 or something, I guess.
Grandmother Rita would die first because she's basically a bionic human.
That's true. She's the Terminator, dude. You can't terminate the Terminator. I've never seen the movie. No, I have. And keep demanding energy from you that you don't have. Sage also seems to be more moody than usual. Yeah, because I'm depressed and I'm not playing with him. So then he's like, hey.
Hey, yeah.
You took down a box that has board games from your own childhood. Now what? No?
And then I started crying.
Uno?
The
Friggin'.
game
And
of
Sage and
life.
Cardamon are interested. Yeah.
Candyland?
Candyland! That's a good one. But those games still exist.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I take down my DS games. Over the next
Game
few
Boy.
weeks, you play a few of these games in the evenings and on weekends. Sage is about to learn I'm so sorry. Again, I can't read. Sage is able to learn the rules quickly and use some simple strategies. Yes. But Cardamon is too young to follow the quick back and forth play. I mean, yeah, what is he? 4? Get good. However, Cardamon loves to roll the dice and move the pieces on the game board.
Owned at Candyland, kid.
Yeah. Learning to count.
Skill issue.
You realize these games are a fun social activity and tend to displace video and TV, which is all to the good. What is this sentence?
What is
I
wrong
read that
with
right.
video and TV?
Nothing, but I mean like interacting together is stronger than sitting in a room.
Okay, playing a video game together.
Yeah. You notice that Sage occasionally
That kid's
forgets.
gonna be a Genji main.
Deliberately changes the rules to create an advantage, and you accept these changes. After all, your family occasionally made up their own new rules. We did, but like it's not necessarily an advantage to him. It was just a fun new way to play the game.
Yeah.
When Sage forgets the rules or tries to change the rules, you insist on playing by the what? This is something my partner would do. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna say this one: encouraging creativity. Sage has really gotten into hockey. Good for him. Is going up to 3 times a week to hockey
It's
practice.
gonna be check please
Yes.
or fence.
No,
as well.
it's check, please. It's hockey.
No, I know, but get him into fencing.
Fencing is so classy. You encourage participation as you notice Sage will rollerblade around the neighborhood just for fun. Yay! The whole family enjoys attending hockey games, except for my freaking partner, who I thought we separated from. There's no consistency with this freaking website. Game. I don't even know what this is. Sage and his friends spend much of their free time playing sports and video games and roaming the neighborhood on bikes and skateboards. Typical 8-year-old behavior. Start of Stranger Things. How old were those kids?
The actors or the characters?
The characters, because I know the actors were just a little bit older.
I think they were 8th grade and they were going into
Oh.
9th grade.
Oh wow, okay, so much older. You think Sage's behavior is fairly
Or
typical?
actually, that's in the new season.
So you don't try to alter it, but you continue to expose Sage to alternatives to rigid masculine-feminine stereotypes. Sure.
I think it's supposed to be like 11 and 12.
Oh, are these like masculine? I didn't notice because I did literally all of these things. Get wrecked. I am a rigid masculine stereotype. You encourage Sage and his guy friends to come over to your house and ask them to incorporate Cardamon into. No, don't do that. Within reason. Well, maybe within reason. Cardamon obviously can't climb really tall trees or go off on bike rides without adult supervision. You ask that Sage reserve some of his free time to play with Cardamon. He generally is willing to play with Cardamon in the evenings and sometimes on weekends if none of his friends are around. Oh, I see. I mean, like, these are all great then. But also,
I
I'm
don't
gonna...
think I'd encourage his friends who are probably from hockey to play with Cardamon. who has
Yeah,
autism.
that one's like... and also, Cardamon's 2, and it allows me to be alone with Cardamon. And it's like, apparently we're playing board games together. Not that it's consistent and remembers the actual choices I make, but... Oh, finally. You and your partner decide to terminate the relationship 3 months
Thank
ago.
God,
Why am I still hearing about her
Saw
then?
this coming forever.
There were a lot of arguments toward the end, but the termination, what is it? Did I fire her? Went fairly smoothly and joint custody was agreed upon. You and she live in the same city, and the children spend 5 weekdays with you in the home you purchased, and most weekends with your ex-partner in the new apartment. You are working full-time to pay the bills. You speak to your ex-partner fairly often about the kids. See, that's the gayest thing I've heard in this entire thing, is maintaining contact. Being, like, nice, Ant-Man style, you know? And most decisions you make have been discussed and agreed upon with your ex-partner. You generally try to get along pleasantly because of the kids, but you still have some arguments. How? I would never see this person.
Yeah, and what about?
Dressing my kid like this? Who the heck? He comes back over to my house after the weekend, she drops him off, you looking like this?
Nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
No child of mine.
This is trauma right here. Sage sometimes blames himself for the way things ended. Yeah, okay. He's less cheerful than usual and is arguing more with you and your ex-partner, but is thankfully not having problems with peers at school and is still doing well in school. I understand how kids can sometimes blame themselves, but, like, also think about that. Why? Sage goes to the school assembly and comes home all excited, saying he wants to take part in the instrumental music program at the school.
Oh, boy.
You like this idea? I sure do. So you and Sage try out the available instruments in the music store and decide on, this is fun. Okay, you're gonna get ready. Which one should I pick?
Okay.
The violin, the clarinet,
Ah!
the saxophone, or the flute?
Ooh.
It's funny because I played both violin and clarinet.
Violin.
Okay, so here's the thing though. The violin, why is there only one string instrument? So I am upset. There's only one string instrument,
Violin
and the
is
rest are woodwind. Why? I'm kind of voting saxophone.
I think drums would be better for him to get
Yeah.
out, but
Like, why is there only one string? Woodwind. Like, where's the brass? Where's the percussion? I would definitely vote percussion.
I would too.
Flute, I think, is really hard. Saxophone, I'm kind of voting towards. Only because I played clarinet, so, like, whatever. Violin also is, like, really chalky. I'm gonna say saxophone. Also, saxophone is pretty easy. Sage usually has fun with Cardamon, age 5. Oh, so he's 5, dude. But occasionally Cardamon's unusual behaviors, intense interest in a single subject, lately looking at dinosaurs pictures.
Oh, heck yeah.
Not learning about them, just looking at them. And delays in social development frustrate Sage. Sometimes Sage gets angry and calls his sibling names, or refuses to play with him.
No.
Your first line of action is to let it be and give Sage extra attention and special one-on-one time. First, what's a line of action? Get Cardamon additional professional help. You call the director of special educational services at a school for children with special needs. You let the director know that Cardamon understands a moderate amount of what is asked of him, but has ASD. Okay, I didn't understand any of that. One goal is to model to Sage what to do when Cardamon frustrates him. This includes walking away, blowing on a pinwheel, sit down, rainbow breaths.
Oh my god, pinwheel.
No, telling a grown-up, using his words with Cardamon. You set up ground rules in the house that are developmentally appropriate for Cardamon to understand. You also approach Cardamon on what Sage is expecting from a social interaction, such as sharing, asking politely for toys, using as much language as feasible to communicate. Get aggressiveness and temper tantrums under control because those easily frustrate Sage. You adopt the same behavioral strategies that the behavior technician uses in sessions. You sign Carmen up for a few hours a week of a modified gym program for children with ASD. Say this, the other one. Like, learn to cope, maybe. Also, how rich am I that, like, paying for a house by myself, taking care of 2 kids,
Special, like,
paying for both their schools, and apparently special services? What are they gonna do? Sage enjoys drawing and designing things of interest. Houses, cars, airplanes, blah. And loves to work with his hands, building models or things out of clay, papier, they spelled it wrong, mache, interconnecting blocks, etc. Typically go with him to find art or building materials for his latest project,
my
and set
God.
aside a table in the guest study room for the projects. You show...
sadly a fat one.
Oh no. You show Sage how to use programs on the computer for ew, gross. CAD software? Because he seems genuinely excited about it, you sign Sage up for drawing and painting classes at a local store. Ooh. Okay. How many rooms do I have in my house again? I thought it was 3-bedroom. And apparently I have a guest room as well. Okay, so do I want to...
Partner's
Oh, you're so right. Do I want to sign Sage up for classes, or do I want to take him to freaking Joanne's and just get him situated there?
Let's say.
Because it's either I'm inspiring him and like doing it with him, or he's getting professional.
I would say Joanne's, just going and
Just getting stuff, inspiring whatever he wants to make. Yeah. Sage is generally
letting his own creativity take him where he
Mhm.
wants, instead
Yeah.
of putting pressure on it being a certain,
It's true.
yeah.
But yeah, whatever. Pros and cons. Pros and cons to everything. Sage is generally pretty good about homework and chores, but sometimes forgets or leaves them unfinished. I mean, who doesn't, man? Am I right? You scold him when this happens and threaten to remove privileges. You punish Sage whenever this happens by assigning extra chores. You make a chart with the list of chores for everyone in the house.
Assign extra chores.
No,
Those don't
yeah.
get a ton either.
Yeah, like what the heck? Everyone has to check things off when they're done. You give Sage an allowance ranging from $0 to $9 per week. That's so much money. Also, how is it 9 per week based on the
You're
the
rich,
work
dude.
completed? I must be. That's why I'm like, I have infinite money.
Are
you don't come
Jeff
down
Bezos?
too hard on Sage for not doing chores. You are placing a priority in homework completion. Definitely the chore chart. I mean, duh. Sage seems to get along well in many different situations with children his age, and also has a good relationship with his teacher and several other adult relatives, friends, and neighbors. You allow Sage to join clubs, visit at a friend's house, or any other reasonable request that involves social activities. Are concerned that Sage is a little too independent. I like how all these questions were like, to encourage independence. Encourages independence. You ignore the baby because you think it encourages independence.
Yeah.
And now they're like, he's too independent. Become stricter and more demanding. Leave it up to Sage when to do chores. Yeah, that's so stupid. Sage is doing very well in language arts. He seems to learn a new vocabulary daily. Well, that's the goal. That's how you know the school is working. He also invents stories. Excellent. Recently, he made an illustrated book with a story that he enjoys reading to everybody. You encourage Sage to write more illustrated stories and share them with the family. Yes, you don't think you need to do anything special other than to listen when Sage reads the story aloud. You give him a special writing journal and make sure there's enough quiet time in the evening for him to use it if he feels the urge. I'm just going to encourage him, especially with the sharing part, because that makes him the center of attention, which I'm sure he loves. Sage is usually cheerful and in good humor. He uses humor to deal with stress or just shrugs off life's little upsets. Yeah, that's my boy! Very rarely he runs across a problem that gets him really upset.
Plot hole.
A plot hole that gets him really upset. At these times, you try to crack a joke and get him laughing. To be fair, yeah, I probably would. Sympathize, give Sage a hug, and show that you will listen whenever he wants to talk about those problems.
Probably better.
It depends on what the problem is. Come on!
Julia.
Share a similar
Don't
experience.
teach him to laugh off when he's upset.
To be fair, though, you can laugh off when you get upset. That's a...
Yeah, but you're teaching him.
I know, but come on. I'm reading them, okay?
Instead of taking it seriously.
Sympathize, show hug, show you listen whenever you talk about your problem. Share a similar experience you or someone you know had in the past, and then listen to Sage if he wants to talk about it. That is like
Making
the
it about you.
Well, it's the neurodivergent
Yeah,
way to
but
do it.
Him,
Who is neurodivergent?
I guess. But, I
But
don't know
this
how- I don't know
system-
how the computer.
Yeah, the
system
computer
works
is
for
like,
that.
yeah, sympathize, but let him deal with the problem in his own way without your help. As this will toughen him against future upsets. Okay, so to be fair, I know they want me to say sympathize, give a hug, show you a listen, but I would probably crack a joke. It depends on what it is.
Yeah, I know what you would do, but you want a good kid.
Oh, no, because
from
that's what
this.
I would do.
Yes.
I want it to be my kid.
Okay.
This is the first one I've come across that I'm like,
You know what they want from you.
they want me to say this one. But this is me.
Okay.
Probably. There are times though. Especially if a kid, if you try to like, if they're like, I'm upset.
Is he like super upset?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. And then it's like, if he's like, I'm upset, and then you crack a joke and he doesn't laugh, then I go to the like, oh no, he's actually upset. What's up, bud? That kind of thing.
But why is your first reaction to be like upset?
It's to test how serious it is. Wait, upset joke?
Yeah, I mean.
It depends on how, because sometimes kids aren't actually upset. And they gotta think about it. And sometimes you're just so funny. I'm so funny. But then, like, kids will call you out, which is so funny to see. They'll be like, no! No! They're so cute. Oh my god. I think I'm gonna say that one, because this is try. I'm gonna say that one. That's the one I'm doing. Sage seems to be able to eat a lot without gaining any weight. It's the hockey. You figure this is due to rapid growth during this period of his life, and don't place any restrictions on his diet. You all could exercise more and watch your food intake better. You serve lower calorie food for the entire family. But he's growing.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. And serving size is recommended by the latest science-based diet recommendations. You figure Sage is too young to learn about diet and nutrition, so you control what he eats at home, making sure it's balanced and not too fattening. To be fair, you can learn anything at any age. So yeah, the first one. Duh. Ugh. He's a growing boy. Honestly, I'd probably feed him more. You eat when hungry. That's the life I live. Sage is working in the 4th grade math group in 3rd grade and doing very well. He seems to learn math concepts quickly and to be, well, good for him. And quick at competitions as well. Sage's favorite subject is science. He can't seem to get enough of it and likes to go to after-school science camps on campus as a switch from after-school daycare. You enroll him in other science discovery camps. You want him to keep an edge in math, so you reward him for working all of the math problems in the chapter. You help foster his interest in science by finding interesting science shows on TV, checking out library books, or exploring co-websites. I'll probably do this one. Do we want to enroll him in camps or find interesting science things?
I enroll him in camps. Like science camps?
Yeah, but this has the same flavor as that artistic one, where it was like, do you get a professional thing or do you find things that he's interested in?
Professional. Camp is kind of like...
It's like the daycare. It says science camp is to replace the daycare. It's after school science camp as a switch from after school daycare.
Oh my god, it was Momo, wasn't it?
He's been here the whole time.
No.
He has a firm alibi. He didn't, unless he teleported there and back into my lab. I'm gonna say actually... This, yeah. Since 2nd grade, Sage has been able to sound out almost any word, and now only occasionally gets stuck when reading aloud. He enjoys reading and looks forward to taking turns reading the story for the night with you. You look forward to reading aloud with him yourself, and are always looking for interesting books. Sometimes Sage declines because he's wrapped up in a book and can't wait to continue on his own. Declines what? Reading it with me? I'm confused by this.
He's too busy reading about Magnus Chase.
I don't think you could read Magnus Chase. The first one's very vulgar. Like, Rick Riordan kind of went off the rails a little bit, and then Disney reeled him back in. He's like, I'm sorry. Hades underwear. We're back to it, okay?
We're back to it.
Yeah. Like, the book 2 of the Magnus series was, like, very silly swear words. It was really funny. You make sure...
a little slap on the
You did.
back of the hand.
You make sure Sage always brings a book to school on family errands or on doctor's visits, saying you never know when you're going to get delayed with a book and you'll never get bored. With a book, you'll never get bored. You introduce Sage... Learn to disassociate, Sage. You'll never be bored again. You introduce Sage to some different kinds of reading materials, such as children literary magazines, nature magazines, newspaper stories that might be of interest, and poetry books. I'm going to say the looking forward to reading with him. But these are all fine.
It's Deku for real.
Can Deku read? I want to talk about how Baby Bakugo could read Deku's name before he could. Like, that's very intelligent. Yeah. He must have been being read to. Like, he was 4, and he's like, I can read. Yeah, he's like, I can read, so that means he's seen other... I don't know Japanese, but the freaking kanjis. He's seen those differently and, like, knew... He recognized them from other stuff, and he's like, hey, watch this. I can read. Wow. And, like, that's so cool, and literally none of the other children knew how to read.
Bakugo the goat.
Sage has not been attending a place of worship. Yes, I know, but was invited to go to church by his friend. Sage asks why you don't attend services anywhere. You encourage Sage to go and say you'll discuss your spiritual beliefs after he attends. I mean, yeah, but I could also do it right this second whenever he's asking me, what is it, dinner time? What are we having? Freaking meatloaf with potatoes? Disgusting. You encourage Sage to go, and you contact the friend's parents to ask if you can go along. You plan to discuss your spiritual beliefs with Sage upstairs. I would probably not go. You set aside time to discuss your spiritual background, beliefs with Sage. You tell Sage that you don't follow any particular faith, and you'd be uncomfortable with him saying, nope. He can make up his own mind and let Sage decide whether to attend service with a friend. I'm gonna say that one. Also, this reads as like Ruben and Lucy to me, where it's like, I don't like church, but I like hanging out with you, and we sometimes get goldfish crackers when we're there, so like it's all fine. Like,
hot chocolate.
it's, you know, whatever.
It's a free concert.
yeah, it's, you know, it's a fun little time for an hour. You get to see people, so it's not bad. Sage is cheating less often at games. What? He's cheating less? He's cheating less. I taught him how to hide cards up his sleeve. Or has gotten sneakier about it, okay. But recently, he has been lying about things that happen at school. Oh god, or blaming messes on his brother.
It's happening.
You realize that Sage is still at the pre-conventional level of moral development. You tell Sage stories or fables about people who lied, the boy who cried wolf, and talk about people feel when other people lie to them. When Sage does occasionally confess, you praise him for telling the truth. I sure do. That's not even a choice, it's just I do. So that was, and this is 1 month later, you get a call from a long-lost friend from college, and your friend visits you. I have no friends. You have fun talking about old times, and your friend's 2 kids have fun playing with your 2 kids. How convenient that we all have 2 kids. Oh god, no. You are looking forward to the upcoming summer and spending more relaxing time with the kids. Both kids are also getting anxious for school to end. How would you get anxious for school to end? Unless you're a college student.
Like excited, I think is what they mean, like the old use of anxious.
Maybe. You went to a summer meeting at the school to plan for school preparedness in the coming school year for emergency events such as a shooter. Classrooms will now have lockdown shades, drill bags for staying calm, drill bag, and children will be learning why it's important to stay quiet during lockdown. You have heard school shooter programs might cause emotional trauma. Sage hears about it through the child grapevine and asks you if a shooter will come to his school. Ah! You say it is unlikely, but it's good to be prepared. You will watch Sage closely for signs of anxiety or depression. You say it is unlikely, it's good to be prepared. You decide to practice emergency drills at home, including natural disaster, home invasion. I mean, probably not. Maybe. But also, I probably wouldn't. You tell Sage it's unlikely, along with some other parents. You ask the school board. Oh, bro, that'd be brutal.
It's
like you died. Start over. You ask the school board for a more general emergency preparedness program.
You should have prepared him.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I probably wouldn't practice at-home stuff, but you probably should. Okay, I'm thinking back. It was kind of done with us, so I should probably do it with my kids. Because it was like, if there's a fire, go either here or here. And then you wait. I mean, we didn't practice it, but that was said. So, both parents were interested in having a relatively complete psychological test report done on Sage sometime in middle childhood, and this seems like a good time. You take advantage of the I should have full consent. We're not together anymore. You take advantage of the local university's service of providing inexpensive psychological testing and counseling by who, like, analyzes their child this much as well. You have the report done toward the end of summer within a few days of Sage's 9th birthday. Hey! Even though it is still the middle of summer, you shop for school supplies and some school clothes. It will also be Sage's 9th birthday in a couple of weeks, and you prepare for a party with 12 kids at a family fun center that has go-karts, video games, prizes, and expensive pizza?
Hey,
How rich am I? We're going to go bankrupt. Sage has one friend who seems to be pretty free to hang out this summer, and a couple of others who are available from time to time. You make sure that Sage knows he's responsible for straightening up after they have visited your home. You let the friends come over as long as Sage promises to straighten up over the weekend the areas of the house they have used during the week. You restrict visits of the friends to your house to weekends when you're around and make Sage straighten up right after the visit. I mean, they would have to come over when I'm around. Are the first two implying that I am not around when they come over? I mean, I'm gonna say the middle one. I can't speak.
Psychological warfare.
It's psychologist, but I was getting ready to say, like, psychological. But then the word ended, so I was like, oh. Age 8. These are some of Sage's scores on the verbal portion of the scale. Where 7 is 1 standard deviation below the mean, 10 is the mean, 13 is 1 standard deviation above the mean. Information, 15. Vocabulary, 17. Oh, he's so good. Similarity, 16. Comprehension, 16. These are his D&D stats, actually. The psychologist said these scores were in the gifted range. Oh, he's got the gifted kid syndrome! Sage's scores on the math concepts, math application problems, and math computation tests were in the gifted range. And the psychologist recommended that he be tested for placement in gifted classes, or at least in a higher math class in 4th grade. We can try. I was also literally in 3rd grade told to be tested for gifted classes, but it really confused me and I had no idea what was going on. And I think I failed because of that. He was friendly to the exam. Like, they kept calling it a pool. Because it is. It's like you are part of a pool of children being pulled, and like, but I had never heard the word pool used like that, and no one explained to me what it meant. And so I thought I was going to a pool. I was very confused when I was in the library taking a test. He was friendly to the examiner and remained calm and cheerful during the IQ and achieve. Oh, I wanted to take an IQ test. We should take IQ tests.
Oh, I already took one.
Recently?
No, when I was 17, remember during the psycho evaluation.
What'd you get?
I think it was below average.
Mm.
Got that low IQ.
Well, the IQ test, the standard one is usually only it's just puzzle matching.
Yeah.
So it's either you're good at puzzle matching and prediction and time management, or you're not.
Yeah.
He was friendly to the exam. Even when some of the questions became difficult and frustrating, the psychologist gave you and the teacher a questionnaire on behavioral and attentional problems and reported that Sage did not have unusual problems with impulsivity and attentiveness or hyperactivity. Why do you list those specifically? He was very focused and maintained concentration throughout the IQ and achievement testing. Sage's scores on tests of visual spatial ability, blah, 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 were well above average, and the examiner recommended that you seek out drawing, design, and building experiences for Sage, depending on interest level. The psychologist interviews you using a standard set of questions about parenting attitudes. According to your scores, you are above average in warmth and affection toward your child. Yes, sir. Your scores on the parenting questionnaire indicate you are above average in discipline and control toward your child. His scores were above average in word reading and phonological awareness, reading fluency, and spelling. So he's above average in, like, literally everything. I love that I'm considered above average in warmth and affection, but then my child called me strict. He didn't say I was strict. He said I had more rules, which could just mean, like, a routine. I don't know, man. I don't know what he means. He's 8. How smart is your child, and in what areas? Oh, he's so smart. Oh, he's so smart. In all areas. Yeah, all the time. Smarter than me.
Smarter than a 5th grader.
He's not even in 4th grade, I don't think. I have to fight my freaking shift key. Think back to the verb when multiple intelligence appeared at age 6. Find specific evidence regarding your child's verbal, logical, mathematical, spatial, musical, and cognitive intelligence from observation of your own child, as well as psychologists report age 19. Specific, I mean, doctor said he was smart. I don't know what to say. Gifted in all areas. Sorry. Get good. Describe some examples of your child's behavior or thinking that you think are due to typical American gender role socialization, and explain why you think so. Several examples can be found at ages 6 and 8. How closely does your attitude toward gender roles correspond to typical American attitudes? And if there is a discrepancy, to what do you attribute this? Example, cultural background, attitude, and brains. What does he do that's typically masculine? He's typically good at, like, this. Oh, yeah! What? This is why you're here. He drew, quote-unquote, stereo. Typically, I cannot spell, dude. Not today. Not this. Not this. Not. Stereotypically masculine drawings. Such as planes, cars. Yeah, I mean, it's not giving me feminine options. It's not like, your child wants to play with toys. What toy do you pick? It's not like that. It's like really weirdly linear. And doesn't really remember the past. It's so bad. I mean...
Who wrote this?
Bleh. I'm gonna say, I have no concept of gender. Unlike the writers of
Oh,
this
this
program
Dang.
who
Get him.
push me in a certain linear
Get him.
path.
Get him.
This program sucks.
No mercy.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna say, like, there's been only, like, 2 gender questions. Hello?
Hello.
Question mark. How might your child's development have been different if he was raised by people with a different socioeconomic, ethnic, or cultural background? Based your answer on specific evidence of cultural differences from the textbook and class lectures. How might the child's development have been different, just like in general? So you could just name like freaking one example. There's so many things. We're gonna go full Chinese on him. Be like, I don't know. There would be a much higher pressure to perform greater academically, yeah. If he were Chinese, I know that much. Speaking from experience here, I've seen some things.
Less free time to do sports.
Well, he wouldn't have a choice. He wouldn't have as much of a choice, if at all. It would all be selected for him by his parents. And they would, choosing, like, the... Why can't I...
And if you have a ghost marriage.
Choosing the most, like, strategic hobbies. X's, whatever.
The movie was so good.
Think. I'm glad you liked it.
Hated the ending.
You didn't. He's 10 and he looks hideous. Okay, we went
Clearly
from.
he has his other mother's genes.
He went to like. This is crazy. He went to like a little child, and I think he's looked like this for like the last 5 years, to like a little man. But now he's not wearing that freaking ugly shirt.
How's the fit?
It's better because it's blue. Wait, hold on. His eyebrows changed. It has been 2 years since you ended the relationship with your ex-partner, and Sage is cooperating better at home than he did during the separation process. However, he sometimes becomes disobedient with you, and according to your ex-partner, with her as well. He's 10. What do you want from me? Sage has shown some talent and interest in drawing and constructing things, and always seems to be drawing interesting cartoons and sketching faces or scenes. Heck yeah! The art teacher even wants him to prepare a special work of art for the county art fair. You provide him with a mini studio and a sunny corner, which includes an easel, paints, sketchbooks, canvases.
How rich are you?
So rich, man. You remind him from time to time about the art fair assignment and provide comments and praise for as his project takes shape. You don't want to kill Sage's interest in art, so you provide materials, a mini studio, and praise, but no pressure. You encourage Sage's efforts by increasing his allowance, giving him the option of spending money on art supplies. This way, you can make sure he's really motivated to do it. These are all pretty good. I'm gonna say the first one, though. Reminding him of the art assignment, because he's pretty forgetful. Sage had a serious fight with his bestie at the beginning of 5th grade and has not made up. He has been moody lately. Sage is hanging out with a different group of friends at school, and there is some taunting going on between the two sides in the quarrel. Sage's teacher has commented that his classroom behavior has been problematic. Ooh, ooh!
Bakugo.
Sage's 5th grade teacher left for the rest of the year on maternity leave, and the student teacher has replaced her. Oh, that's rough for kids, too. Sage really likes the enthusiastic young man, but he doesn't seem to have control of the class. Rip to this teacher!
God,
You feel the class will not cover enough material to prepare the kids for 6th grade, or the start of middle school. You decide to wait it out and see if things improve. You and a few other parents band together to speak to the principal. Hello! And she agrees to have more experienced teachers at the school mentor Sage's teacher. Rip, calling out this teacher. You don't want to make waves at the school, so you arrange for Sage to get some after-school tutoring in math and science. You try to encourage his reading and writing on your own at home. Yeah, I'd say that one.
Dude, this poor new teacher.
I know, like I would hate to rip on the
You're
teacher.
not gonna have more experienced teachers in the future if you don't let the new teachers.
I will say it's just to have them mentor the teacher though. And it's just he doesn't have control of the class.
That's relatable.
It is. It's hard. 10-year-olds? Oh my god, they'll eat you alive. I mean the tutoring is really good, but I think maybe we can just mentor the teacher. And also it's not the worst thing if they're like, oh no. Sage's 5th grade class is just about to leave on the 5th grade science camp trip, a week spent in cabins in the mountains. Fancy! What? How do I afford this? Oh my god, Atlas. Oh my god, Atlas. Stop it. The 5th grade teachers have been preparing the kids for weeks, alternating with each other in the teaching of science units on ecology, astronomy, geology, botany, and zoology. Dang, I didn't learn like any of that stuff. I'm not smarter than a 5th grader. The kids are also learning all of the rules of camp. They will have to keep their cabin clean, wash dishes, turn the lights out at 9. This is Sage's first extended stay away from home. It is. Like, he's never stayed with friends. That doesn't seem real. 10 years old, he should have been in a foreign country for a whole year by himself at this point.
Oh my god.
That's what happened to teen. They turned, was it 12 or 10? I can't remember.
12.
Still. Sage is really enthusiastic about the science topics and talks a lot about them at home. It seems as though the prospect of actually doing hands-on science is already enhancing his interest in and knowledge about the topics. I haven't done hands-on science yet. What's wrong with me? I'm a teacher. You figure the whole trip will be a good life experience as well as a good academic experience. Yup. Can't say no to that. Sage is continuing to be a strong reader and always seems to have a fiction book he is reading. You continue to read aloud together from books, online or printed. The first thing that jumped in my head when it said online was fan fiction.
Oh. Let's go.
I'll read him the thing that you wrote.
Auntie Xander will
Yeah.
have great recommendations.
You sometimes read the same books as Sage and converse about some of the funnier or more interesting moments in the book. Sometimes you suggest the book to Sage that you think he'd like.
Xander's new chapter? It was crazy.
You figure Sage doesn't need any encouragement to read fiction, so you encourage him to read non. Ew, no, you don't do these, Rachel. Yeah, I'm gonna encourage him to read. Yeah. Sage is working at the 6th grade math level, the highest level offered at his school. Oh my god, at his school.
He's so smart.
And usually gets the homework done easily and gets everything right on the tests. He's so smart. His brain is huge. At this point, he is really interested in science, but thinks math is sort of humdrum. What is humdrum?
Boring?
I know, but also, like, who says that? You don't want him to get complacent.
It's slang. You don't get it.
So you get some books on higher math, algebra. Sage seems to understand algebra easily. So you play some games where Sage has to solve the problems within a certain time limit. You just work through the book steadily whenever he has some spare time. Sure. You encourage Sage's interest by helping him save up money for a really good home chemistry set and a microscope and slide making set. You set aside an area of the laundry utility room to be Sage's laboratory. Bro! Oh, that's so
Jimmy
good.
Neutron.
Yeah. You work with the teacher to find science fairs and volunteer to get together a group from Sage's class to put together a science experiment for the upcoming fair. Sage joins in with enthusiasm. These are all great. Except for, like, the you don't do anything. So it's either encourage him to work more on math or continue to encourage the science.
Show him more Cyber Chase. Dude, it's because he grew up on Cyber Chase.
I know.
That's why he's so smart, so good at math.
Dude, but I grew up on Cyber Chase, but also I was watching it before going to ballet.
That'll do it. The
So,
ballet,
The ballet overwrote. The ballet overwrote the math. Okay, so these are all great options. Do I want to encourage math, super encourage science at home, or encourage social science? Like, he's working with groups for fairs. That's putting pressure on it, I can see. So do I want to encourage math or science?
Is one of them more social than the other?
The one with the friends is social, but it's also for a science fair, which is graded usually and has pressure. So I kind of want to avoid that one because it's taking the fun out of
but
why
is
he
it-
likes
is the
science.
first one, like, the workbook that you work through with him?
Yeah, I'm working with him.
And then the second one is just a laboratory for him.
Yeah, it's just like
I would
working.
say the math one. that's
It's encouraging an interest in math as well as science. Like, he's
Well, yeah, but
already.
you're
yeah.
doing it with him.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's either I encourage math or I encourage science. So I'm leaning towards this one anyway because I'm like, balance. I'm the avatar over here. And it's just like whenever I have time. Algebra's fun. Sage is really advancing in hockey. Sage's coach recommends joining a travel team as a way of advancing faster. This is practically year-round, so Sage wouldn't have enough time for serious competitive play in other sports. He doesn't play other sports. I just picked hockey. You don't think Sage should get that serious about one sport at this time, and it is expensive, so you don't take the coach's advice.
Oh, now it's about money?
I know, I was like, I can afford everything at this point. You encourage... I'm going to end the game and it's like, bankrupt, you lost.
No money. But your kid is.
You're homeless. Yeah. You encourage Sage to continue hockey, but to keep trying new sports at the rec center. There's a rec center now, as he might discover a new sport he loves. You realize sports are quite competitive at the high school level these days. They are. It's freaky. Like, it's too much. You take the coach's advice and join up with travel hockey. We encourage Sage to play other sports informally, such as tennis, basketball, gymnastics. Oh, we should do gymnastics! Why wasn't that an option? You don't want him to burn out on a sport and grow to dislike it at such a young age. You continue with the regular hockey league as Sage has friends there and really likes it. We also encourage him to pursue other sports. So, He could do competitive young. To be fair, that's kind of how you get good, is by doing it young. I'm going to say that one. Sage is becoming more adaptable in social situations and gets along well with kids at school. He has a best friend. Did he make up with his best friend? Some other friends that form a kind of group. What do you mean by that?
Best friends? No, we are.
Sage likes to spend time hanging out with one or more of these friends. Yeah, it's called a clique. You try to facilitate things whenever Sage wants to hang out with friends, but you set limits on times and places. I mean, yeah, but like not really. You take Sage's friends on various outings or to the after-school and weekend activities that the kids are involved in together. Sure. You pretty much let Sage come and go as he pleases. You monitor what Sage and his friends are doing closely. Sometimes you say no to an activity because you want Sage to spend more time under your supervision. No. Cardamon is 7 and is still showing some difficulty in social interactions with Sage. He rarely initiates play or maintains back and forth conversations, even though he has some expressive language skills and moderately good receptive language skills. Cardamon also has trouble adapting to change in his routine. Sage can get frustrated with Cardamon's sulking, whining, mildly aggressive behavior, or disobedience to rules. On these occasions, that's just older sibling syndrome.
Yeah.
On these occasions, Sage sometimes gets angry and yells at Cardamon, and sometimes walks away in frustration. To be fair, I doubt... Like, I know it probably happens, but also I doubt it, since that's not something I do as much. So I don't know. Maybe it's the innate human urge to stomp away in frustration. These problems keep coming up, but then nothing happens because of it. So I'm like, how is this helping the development of my child if nothing happens because... this program needs some work. You talk to Sage regularly about being patient and encouraging with Cardamon's social difficulties and dealing with Cardamon's problematic behavior. Duh. You acknowledge his frustrations as Sage assists you encouraging more positive behavior and ignoring negative behavior. No. You discipline Sage more. No. You ignore them. No. No. Why would you ignore negative behavior?
Yeah, that's never smart.
That's the only thing. The rest is pretty fine. It's like, ooh. Yeah. Sage is very verbally adept and witty and enjoys jokes, stories, and riddles. That's why you gotta crack jokes with him. You continue to make efforts to go on outings that fit his interests, such as the Science Museum. These, like, don't match at all. You take turns telling each other funny jokes or stories and have a good time with it. You enjoy having a wider range of conversations together than you could last year. You figure this is an area in which Sage is doing really well, and you don't do anything special. I mean, all of these, I guess. But I guess the first one. Cardamon was diagnosed with autism. Yes, he was. Since then, has been receiving services from a combination of psychologists, occupation... How rich am I? What is this? Several hours per week? He continues to struggle sometimes in understanding other people's perspectives and in completing multi-step instructions from his second grade teacher. Then don't do that. His verbal abilities and receptive language are progressing, but still below grade level, and this sometimes hinders his growth. On a positive note, he's making strides socially with others, restricting his intense interest to home, Well, you shouldn't do that. And implementing some of the strategies that the behavioral technician has taught him so that he can focus on schoolwork. How do you see your role? Boosting Cardamon's other talents and skills. So you have work on academics. So the teacher has a once-a-week tutor you've hired. You encourage a can-do mindset. You set up a token economy at home where Cardamon can earn free time to engage in his favorite interest if homework and reading is done on time. Sage also participates, and this helps Cardamon get motivated. That's pretty cool. Rather than waiting for school to intervene, you help Cardamon relax by allowing him to engage in self-stimulatory behavior to cope before settling down to a short homework session designed by the teacher. You also minimize sensory overloads of sights, sounds, or smells, avoid unpredictable situations, and use yeah. You reward Cardamon for staying on task with chores and homework, punish him for not getting started or not finishing on time. You think consistency is important to this role, applies to Sage as well. I mean, also this. These are all great. So I'm going to say the minimize, yeah. Sage has really become resistant to colds in the past year or so. He's the ultimate child. Thankfully, so you can figure he has built up a lot of strong immunities. There is a bad flu going around. But Sage has managed to avoid it, even though his brother had a moderate case of fever, body aches, and sore throat. He talked to Sage about how to avoid germs in the cold and flu season, and Sage seems to understand. Good for him. During the cold and flu season, you start giving Sage some products that are supposed to strengthen the immune system, just in case. I mean, also probably that. You leave well enough alone. I mean, I'm gonna explain it to him. And then give him the Flintstones. Sage is able to concentrate longer on tasks than at age 8, although he has occasional lapses. I mean, yeah. You reward Sage for completing the homework for the day, all in one session, rather than splitting it up. You encourage Sage to develop his own time management skills to get the chores and homework done.
Oh, God.
I mean, yeah, both of these are great. But we love rewards. More rewards. Over the summer, Sage wants to earn more money than the usual weekly allowance because he wants to save for a new skateboard. Skater boy! You come up with a list of major chores that he can work on during the summer, such as pruning the bushes, washing the car, painting the fence. I have a fence. And agree to pay him the prevailing minimum wage.
For these things?
Minimum wage?
Do you think he power washed the driveway and got paid?
Apparently it gets minimum wage. That's $15 an hour, which, like,
Whoa.
that would be quite a bit of money.
That's a lot.
You think this will be a good experience if he will stick with it? I mean, yeah, it's a good experience. Sage is talking a lot during the early part of the summer about going to 6th grade. There are several urban legends about what happens to 6th graders. Sage is afraid he'll be dumped into the trash can by 8th grade. I mean, you will. Or tricked by 8th graders if he ever runs across campus. You laugh because there were very similar legends when you were in middle school. There were not. You reassure Sage, I actually didn't go to middle school in America. Reassure Sage that none of these things will happen.
You miss being dunked.
And then he gets dunked in a trash can. Toward the end of 5th grade, the school begins to transition the kids to middle school. This includes registering for 6th grade classes, a trip to the middle school to meet the 6th grade core teachers, and a tour of the school. Sage is very excited about the transition. For his 11th birthday, Sage asks for a new video game set. In order not to bust your budget, you go with a low to mid-range price video game set. I know. Yeah, I'm like, why am I sort of sometimes struggling financially, but also not? Like, it didn't seem like I had a choice to make up with my partner anyway. It seemed like they were programmed to hate me. So, like, okay.
They were programmed to hate you.
Some highlights of the 5th grade report card. The one that is being sent on to middle school with Sage's portfolio of writing samples and standardized test scores were as follows. Strength in areas of math problem solving, understanding data, a number concept, graphical applications, and arithmetic computation. I can't say any of those words. Appropriate for grade level in area of music. So he's not, like, gifted or anything. Consistently works cooperatively in groups, respects rights, property of others, demonstrate that didn't change. Strength in area of art, strength in areas of reading, spelling, appropriate for grade level writing, so his writing could improve, but it's normal. Consistently works independently, listens attentively, follows directions, classroom rules. Strength in speaking, listening, and content knowledge of social studies and science. In comment section, teacher wrote, pleasure to have in class. Occasionally, Sage gets upset during stressful situations inside or outside the classroom. But usually, again, like, that's okay. Yeah. God, that's the exact same as before. Describe your child's academic skills between 6 to 10 and assess how well these skills are developing. He's so smart. God, I'm so tired of this. He's so smart. What more do you want from me? 5th grade report card will be useful for this, but you should also incorporate your own observations. What are you doing to help your child? I'm reading to him. Acting. I can't spell. Don't watch my spelling, Sage. You'll be a bad speller. In areas of interest to him, to help encourage those interests. Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm not a perfect person. How well is your child adapting social? Please let me in. I brought turkey. You know I'm a vegetarian. How is your child adapting to social situations in the home and outside the home? So very well. Thank you for asking. Dude, honestly, if Farah were real, I would probably not get along with her. She was in the military. And she has a bob. Girl.
She's like stern and militaristic.
She is. I like the voice actors for Farah. Yeah.
She's too logic-based.
I feel like logic-based isn't the problem.
Like she would never laugh at my jokes.
Yeah, you can be logical and also hilarious. Look at me. I'm right here. I feel... Because Ayazawa. He's so logical, but I feel like he's also, like, cynical. And Farah's not cynical enough. Does your child have any behavior or emotional problems at this point? Why? No problems. Thank you for asking.
Why is your bed lumpy?
He's perfect. Thank you. You're lumpy. It's just your back.
No, it's like lumpy over here.
Why do you think these problems are occurring, and what are you doing about them? Has your parenting changed? It's a preschool period, and if so, why do you think it has changed, and what effect might this have on your child? I mean, it changes with the child, right? Like, a good parenting style. As he gets older. Yeah, this allows some more freedom and such. Refer to your textbook or lecture notes for evidence on typical changes in parenting that occur in middle childhood. Oh, there's... Oh God.
They get mean.
I think they get more relaxed. Because as the kid gets older, then you're like, you know, you can basically have a cell phone at this age if they're out and about on a bicycle with friends and stuff. The 6th grade year has just flown by and it's summer. As it turns out, we're time traveling. Sage's anxieties about being picked on by older students were not justified. He has become interested in his appearance as a result of some compliments from a girl in his grade. Not the heteros!
No!
Relayed through another girl, of course. That's kind of funny. You try not to let it go to his head. You support his interest by giving him extra chores so you can buy some trendy clothes. He wants to hang out with the girl in question, but you only let this happen in groups of other kids or at your house.
No, son of mine.
As it happens, the romance, quote unquote, goes up in smoke in a couple of months, as you thought it would. Boy, that's brutal. Shut up. Young love. Even though it is still the middle of summer, you shop for school supplies and clothes. Sage seems to be obsessed with looking cool when 7th grade starts in the fall. Who isn't? Dang, he's so cool. He's got the hands behind the back. Oh, he's got the coif. He's got freaking, like... He's pursing his lips. He's wearing, like, neon green.
What
with
the heck?
beige pants.
Wait, I need
He's manspreading. He's
glasses.
He's 12 years old. Look at him. He's
What
got like
the
a little
heck?
puckered face. It's kind of cute. Can I zoom in on this actually? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That face is so funny to me. This is too big for me to like read it.
I actually can't read small text like that.
Oh. Yeah, Sage's oral reading, decoding, reading comprehension, spelling, writing skills are above grade level, and he is busy writing stories and experiences down into his
Can't
journal.
wait till that gift
I didn't give him the journal, though, which is so funny that you remembered that I didn't give him the journal. You encourage any reading interest and provide praise and helpful feedback for Sage's writing. Yes, of course. Although he is often interested in interacting with others, Cardamom can be challenging for Sage, or a visiting friend to interact with successfully during... I feel like at this point he would not be challenging. I feel like Sage would be like, yeah, it's my brother, he's autistic, watch this. And he just, like, rubs his hands together, and then, like, Cardamom copies him, and he's like, he likes to do that sometimes. Like, you would have it figured out. You'd be like, look at my brother, he's kind of weird.
Watch this, Cardamom, say some facts about trains.
Yeah, watch this. What's an engine? You know, what's a caboose? And he just starts, he goes off the rails of the train, you know? Like, you would have it figured out. I think sometimes Cardamom simply ignores Sage or the friend and begins to play by himself. I mean, yeah. To minimize disruptions, help Cardamom distinguish between
storyline is better.
mean time and social time, and help Cardamom acquire social skills. You alternate activities. I'm yawning so much.
About the vaccine.
It didn't ask me about vaccines at all. It wouldn't allow me to be an anti-vaxxer.
That would be an interesting
I want to be an anti-vaxxer so bad.
Oh my god.
Allow Cardamom his space and interact yourself with Sage or the friend until Cardamom decides to re-engage socially. Coach Cardamom by reminding him during the interaction to be a good listener and use his words. Talk with Cardamom before the play. Or the friend arrives, reminding him to be a good listener and to use words to communicate his desires and feelings. I'm gonna say alternative activities. He's allowed to, like, not play with a 12-year-old and his friend. You, Sage, and Cardamom enjoy some of the exercise activities and games, such as 3D video tennis on Sage's video game player. That was not written by someone who knows what a video game is. You can get surprisingly good workout. Is this supposed to be like Wii tennis?
Do they think it's like...
I think that's Wii Sports. We play Wii Sports, and it's a good fun time. Sage's best friend ditched him to hang out with a guy and 2 girls, and Sage has been trying to join up with another group of kids. Surprisingly, both Sage's mood and his motivation to study have gone downhill.
That's not surprising.
Is this a normal kid? I don't know. I thought he had ADHD. You listen to Sage's complaints, but all of your suggestions about making up or finding a new friend seem to make him more upset. So you're trying to simply listen and not make suggestions. That would probably be true and be hard. You listen to Sage's complaints, tell him a story about a similar experience you had in middle school. The two of you agree that sometimes middle school can be a struggle. Honestly, probably that one then. But nothing. I would have no similar experiences.
You're too perfect.
Well, no, I just didn't care. People wanted to hang out with me. I was the one stealing out all the friends.
You care if Bryce didn't want to hang out with you?
No. I'd be like, do you want to hang out? And if he's like, I'm busy, I'm like, okay. Next time. I know, I'm not a whiny child. Get good. Sage played in the after-school instrument program for a couple of years, but practiced less and less as time went by. I never practiced my instrument, bro, don't worry. The little orchestra! I put him on saxophone!
What are you doing?
What is this?
With your saxophone?
There were a few standout performers, mainly the saxophone player, who were probably taking private lessons or were very musically inclined. You didn't feel that Sage would really make good use of private lessons, so you didn't pursue that. Now the poor instrument has joined the rest of the unused stuff in your garage. Okay. I wasn't given the option to give him musical lessons, so, like, I don't understand this.
Do you think it's forgetting the path that it wants you on? Or that it...
Maybe I'm confusing it. I'm just such a good parent. It's like, ooh, you're such a bad parent that you didn't click the violin. And it's like, huh?
What?
There's a program at Sage's school with a focus on... I mean, he would probably, if he's so good at science and math, he's probably weaker at playing the instrument. Even though they actually kind of go together. So I don't know, man. This program it's boiling my beans.
What?
STEM. He's literally joining STEM. You're trying to figure out if STEM is a good idea for Sage. Just like in general, or like... The school recommends it even for children who don't like or who aren't at a high level already in math and science. Enroll Sage right away. What an amazing opportunity. You want to do more research to see if children who graduate STEM programs benefit. I mean, yes, they do. Partner. Why is the partner being mentioned? It might be too much given all the focus on math and science? That's not even English. Enroll him right away. You'd probably really like it. It has been several years since you ended the... It just said partner! Why are you bringing up partner? Both you and your former partner are doing well with your new I have a new partner? Huh? Who? Who is this new partner?
It's just your Aizawa body pillow.
Apparently. Still live within 1 hour of each other. Who cares how far away that person? They're not related to me. Sage stays with you during the weekdays and visits her almost every weekend. I'm surprised they still know her gender. Because they say partner so much.
Yeah.
And it doesn't play a part at all. It's like, why does this matter? Sage is still somewhat uncooperative with both of you. He really doesn't get along well with the new partners. You are not sure if this is normal preteen behavior for boys or some kind of delayed effect from the separation. I mean, yeah, it's both. You try to be a good listener to Sage and not to react too severely when he argues. You work gradually on improving his relationship with all of the main adults in his life. All 2 of them. Sage is starting to notice girls more, but has not said anything openly about it. He wants to get a popular video game that has some suggestive photos of women and which has male characters mistreat women. Oh, so he wants to play Grand Theft Auto. Okay.
Yeah.
He refused to let Sage have the 12-year-olds love playing Grand Theft Auto, stating that such material is offensive and his little brother should not be exposed to it. He objects angrily that you don't even know what the game is about and stomps off to his room. Ah! You ask around about the video game, find that some of his friends have it. Since he will be exposed to it anyway, you let him get it and make comments as he's playing it about how crude and inappropriate. Honestly, same, yeah. You figure he's going to be exposed to the game anyway with his friends, but you want to communicate your values. So you make him pay for the video game with his money. Even better. You point out that you do not approve of the way it portrays women and insist that he play it only in his room so his brother will not be exposed to it. I mean, his brother's going to be exposed to it. He's going to bring him in at 11 o'clock at night and be like, Psh, look at this, and like gets a lap dance from a PS2 level graphic women with
The
boobs.
polygon woman.
And he's like, I don't understand. The polygon, the, what's her name? Lara Croft of it all.
Laura Croft.
Minecraft, Steve's
With her
true love.
diamond boob.
Yeah. You notice that Sage's sense of humor has become more subtle lately. He has been pointing out inconsistencies between things you have said and your behavior, especially toward him. Oh, he's getting snarky. You laugh along with Sage and joke around, figuring it's good not to take yourself too seriously. Absolutely. Laugh at the jokes, but don't want Sage to get disrespectful. So you clarify your views and make sure that Sage will still understand your rules and remains consistent. Dude, I don't even know my rules half the time. I'm inconsistent. Humans are inconsistent. You encourage joking around, but don't tolerate criticism of your behavior. You want to maintain authority in your own home.
Ew.
Yeah. Sage has been thinking about religion lately, even though as a family, you don't attend. It remembers this for some reason. Spurred on by some friends who follow different faiths or no faith at all, he has been watching videos about various world religions on the internet and suggests he might go to a friend's. He's gonna end up on, like, YouTube rabbit holing himself into a cult.
Oh my god.
You give him space to do some research and respect the fact that he is learning and growing in new ways. You let Sage develop his own opinions about the topic. You've always tried to encourage critical thinking skills, and this seems like an appropriate time to continue doing it. I mean, yeah, both of these are really good. You think that Sage should find out whether attending a place of worship works for him. You encourage him to choose. These are all the same! You'd like him to get involved in charity work during the teenage years. You actively try to persuade Sage either to join a place of worship. This seems out of pocket.
That's out of character.
Yeah, it's like completely random. Okay, so critical thinking is making me want to click that one. Eep. Sage is in the gifted and talented program at school. Hey, start the clock for burnout. I think by freshman year he'll be all burnt out. Seems to be engaged and challenged. You notice a slight decrease in his level of confidence in math and language arts, and you wonder what is going on. No, I don't. He's suddenly, dude. You decide to pay Sage for grades. Oh yes! That's the gifted kid wage!
$100 per A.
It was $50 per A, I thought. Or $20 per A?
20.
I think it was 20, yeah.
And then 10 per B.
I would know. I've only got A's. And I know you got a bonus as well per plus. So if you got an A, you got 20. And if you got a plus, it was like stacked on top of that.
What?
So I would get like $200 from a report card because I got all A pluses. But you know what sucked? And this was never addressed. Hello, I'd like to talk to the police. Because you guys got money for your grades in middle school. How many classes did you have in middle school? 8. The answer is 8 classes in middle school. I was getting paid for my classes in high school. How many classes do you have in high school? 5. The answer is 5. I got 5 grades versus 8.
To be fair, I had all C's and D's.
Yeah, to be fair, you guys. But,
All
like,
B's and
it's not fair, though, because if I had 8 classes, I would have done extra. Like, it's like, oh, well, you're doing so well, so you don't need the help. Okay. Pay me anyway.
Hey, man.
Anyway, so pay grades to motivate him to do well in the subject of declining and interest him. To be
Got paid
fair,
for honor roll too.
yeah. You think the problem might be due to Sage comparing himself to the other students. It is, and not factoring in that they are all above average. It is. So you find ways to praise the genuine quality of Sage. Yes. You help him find some special area where he can really excel. Writing story, joining a debate team, entering math contest. You don't want to push Sage too hard, as he's already doing so well in school. You think he might need some balance in life, so you encourage some of his other areas of interest in. Yeah, it's supposed to be you're supposed to reward, like, the child, not the grade. It's very tempting to pay for grades, but that's rewarding the, like, the achievement, not the child. Lately, Sage has...
stress on them.
Yeah, it really does. Boy, howdy, I could tell you. I mean, it's nice to have money. It is. It's so nice to have money.
But then they identify with good
Yeah,
grades,
but then
and
they're
if they don't get
stressed.
good grades, then it's like,
Then they're a failure.
who are they, you know?
Who am I? Lately, Sage has his ups and downs, sometimes coming home from school cheerful and friendly, and sometimes sullen and cranky. When he is sullen and cranky, he either plays video games or shuts himself up in his room. I mean, yeah. You ask Sage whenever he's in these moods if anything has happened to upset him. But Sage keeps saying nothing, and even seems to get crankier when you ask about it. I feel like he wouldn't. With my excellent parenting skills, he would immediately come to me and like, I'm upset because this. And I'd be like, tell me all about it while we play Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see a consistent trend up or down in mood, so you give Sage his space, interacting with him when he is in a positive mood, and sticking to only the most essential communication when he is in a negative mood.
Oh, I'm getting gassed.
What?
Oh.
Oh, you mean by cats? Oh no! I bet it was Atlas, honestly.
Oh.
He walked in here apologizing, and you didn't mention it. Like he went, I made a stinky.
Oh, look at these shrimp.
I know. You think Sage is spending too much time in his room, so you give Sage chores or errands to do. No. Some of these games really set you up. No. I guess this one? It's the only sort of good one. Sage is self-confident and relaxed in social situations. He has some close friends, seems to be somewhat of a leader in the group, and is not pushy or overbearing. So he became a leader. Probably because he is not pushing or overbearing. A 12-year-old that's not pushy? A god. You don't think you need to do anything special. You don't do anything special other than respond to Sage's request to invite friends over or go to their houses. You realize that Sage enjoys these kinds of positive peer experiences, so you seek them out for Sage whenever possible. Scouts, teams, school activities. I guess?
There's a beautiful brother moment happening over here. Oh, he was...
No, yeah. What is that pose? Think about it. Oh, it's nasty. Ugh.
What's going on?
I guess I'm gonna say this one. Oh god, here we go.
He doesn't like me touching his tummy.
Maddie or Momo?
Maddie.
Yeah, no, don't poke him. Cardamom has occasional difficulties in math and science in 4th grade, and sometimes also has difficulty communicating at school, remembering and following through with instructions, and interpreting the nonverbal communication of his teachers and aides. He struggles to keep up in class because he doesn't always want to adapt when situations necessitate it, and has difficulty reading social cues and heeding unwritten rules. The teaching staff recognizes that Cardamom has ASD with mild to moderate learning disabilities. It's only mild to moderate? Guys, teach him sign language. And has met with you to go over the IEP! Ooh, I learned all about it. Let me tell you all about it. Which includes time and the resource specialist for reading and writing. Cardamom doesn't enjoy school much, but has fun creating drawings and following the city's train schedule. Those are so random. I thought I was gonna be freaking following the city's trains. Those maps and like, yeah, train stations that have like all the lines going everywhere, and he'd be like, "Oh, art, mwah. Who made this?" You agree to the IEP and encourage Cardamom to try outdoor science camp scouting, as these are active, outdoorsy, social, provide a different way to learn about the world. Yeah, sure. You know 4th grade is a key grade for all these subjects and that middle school isn't far off. To add to the school's efforts, you hire a recent college graduate from your neighborhood who works with Cardamom to boost academic interest, motivation, and attention. No, you shouldn't refuse the resources. You can try to get across the idea of a growth mindset. Cardamom can do well in any of these subjects if he works hard and confronts failure by stepping up his efforts. I mean, okay, so a growth mindset is good, but you would want help. Silly goose. Sage is growing fast and consuming a lot of food, much of it junk food that he gets at school or after school. Okay, because of Obama, they don't have like junk food at school. And after school, where would he get it? My house? Surely not.
Surely not.
Surely not. The only junk food I have are those little Hostess white and powdered donuts. You refuse to buy any junk food at home, and you give him a lecture about healthy eating habits. You realize he's almost constantly hungry, so you buy healthier snacks to put up in his backpack. You give him a handy picture of the latest daily food amounts recommended by researchers for preteens. But I don't explain it. I just give him a picture of it, walk away. I guess I'm gonna buy healthier snacks. You can have junk food, though.
Here, have this. No reason.
Goodbye. Sage just got back from a dentist appointment.
Whoever thought?
During which his dentist suggested it might be time for braces. God, this freaking thing with the
Here it
braces.
comes.
It's literally just a business. Don't get me started.
Might be time for like it's like
Yeah, it's literally like, oh, you're 12. It's time to give you braces. Yeah, they literally wait till you have all your adult teeth in before slapping braces on. And it's like,
I needed braces.
yeah, you needed braces. I had like one tooth out of alignment, and they're like, do you want braces? They're free. And I was like, sure.
They're
Hey,
not free.
they were free because we were in Europe. They were free.
We got them in America first.
No, we got them in Europe first.
No,
for
I got
real.
it in America first because it was the glow in the dark shark thing. I remember that.
I don't know anything about. No, I don't
Maybe
think so.
you got braces.
No, yeah, we've all got braces in Europe. Pretty sure.
No,
Except for Ruben.
the glow in the dark shark shirt.
That's here in America.
Yes.
How old were you? Think about it.
That was in elementary school.
Elementary with braces? I don't think that's true.
It was.
You did not have braces in elementary school.
I thought I did.
Mm-mm. You can't because you have baby teeth. You have to wait till you're 12. At least. If you were 10 or 11, which is probably when you would have gotten braces, you were in Europe and got braces there probably. We got them taken off in America, and that actually cost more money than like the whole process had been in Europe. Was getting them removed, which is really funny. Oh my god. And even jokingly referred to himself as rabbit teeth. Oh, my kid is so funny. Oh, just to be sure Sage is okay with getting braces. You discuss it and point out some of the positives about getting braces before high school. What are the positives? That you have straighter teeth? The negatives are that it goes back to being bonkers whackers teeth if you don't get a double retainer and also take care of them.
It's true.
Well, Sage is all set for braces. You aren't sure you can afford them right now. Apparently I can afford them. You put a few whole carrots on his dinner plate to keep the joke going. You have Sage make the appointment the next day. Oh, that's hilarious. Yes. Yes. Sage is really anxious for summer to begin. Why? And is having fun. I'm so confused. Really anxious for summer to begin and is having fun. I'm so confused. But as soon as the school supplies are in the store, he wants to get his 8th grade notebook. You realize the choice of notebook and the decoration of it with photos and sayings is part of his identity. Huh? Choice of notebook and the decoration of it with photos and sayings is part. I mean, sure, yeah. What is it? Pink? With Spider-Man on it? I'm so confused.
It's got sharks and pizza.
I guess. Sage spends a lot of time during. It's like one of the green ones that say 5-star. Sage spends a lot of time during the summer.
I just associate with it. I don't know.
Hanging out at the mall or the movies with some friends. He needs money for these outings, so in addition to regular chores, you have him do some much needed things around your place for extra money. Again, he has probably tons of money if he did the chores for minimum wage, which is at least $15. If I'm in a city, as this place so loves to remind me, then minimum wage might be like $17 an hour. This kid's rich. Gets paid more than me. After the 7th grade school year ended, Sage had big plans to hang out with his best friend and play a lot of video games. But this grew boring after a couple of weeks. I mean, yeah, get a job. That's what I did. I literally played video games straight for several weeks. I got bored, got a job. Been working since. Sage occasionally gets bored over the summer and doesn't initially seem to like any of your suggestions about what to do. But you notice he starts in on some of them later as if it was his own idea. Heh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
He usually is anxious to show you the latest results on his project when you come home from work. I don't think he would, because that's not how I raised him. I'm not praising achievement. I'm Wait, I'm not.
You're not praising achievement.
I'm
the heck?
praising, like, him, not the achievement. Him. I don't know, so you shouldn't be anxious about that. And also, I'm super cool, and he loves to hang out with me.
I'm the liquor starter.
You have
Every time I pet
you
these
have a
cats, they
little
start
lighter
licking.
work schedule over the summer. I wish it actually gets heavier. And you're able to take Sage and his brother out to the movies or for dessert on some weeknights. I could do that, yeah. You also plan some interesting outings and a couple of 3-day weekends, as well as a short family vacation relaxing at the beach. I sure would love a 3-day weekend and a short vacation at the beach.
Beach episode.
You you get Sage's 7th grade report card early in the summer. Some highlights on the report card. A's in the gifted, talented English, social studies course, and in Spanish. What happened to Mandarin? Remember that was mentioned? Does he speak Mandarin? The teacher commented that Sage was becoming very good at analyzing literature and was quite a good writer as well. He listens attentively, follows directions, follows school rules. His word reading and spelling skills are solid. Sage consistently contributes to cooperative group activities, respects the rights and possessions of others, shows age-appropriate social interaction with peers, effective at time management, highly consistent. I guess he's not ADHD, I'm so sorry.
No.
Highly consistent in working independently in the classroom and on homework. He has almost no problems
What
completing assignments and
happened?
turning them in on time. Sage took art in 7th grade as an option and got an A.
I
Yay.
wish this were me.
The art teacher wrote a note attached to the report card that said this was a real area of strength for Sage. So he's good at everything. He got an A in the gifted and talented math class and in science. The math and science teachers both wrote notes indicating they thought Sage should be given an extra enrichment in these areas. They recommended 8th grade honors math, which was basically high school geometry, and an after-school science club in 8th grade. Sage already knows about these options and is interested. Sage took 7th grade chorus as an elective and got a C. He can't sing. They said he had a good voice, though. He is not musically
No.
interested.
You do not. That means that he wasn't showing up or something.
Yeah, that means he doesn't know how to, like,
Good at
read
singing to
music.
get a good-
No, I know. That means he's, like, not good at reading music or some assignments or something. But, like, yeah, getting a C. He's just not good musically. I bet his brother's better. How many physical behavioral signs of incipient puberty?
What is that?
That's gonna be a thing. I need to look that. I could look it up actually. Woo! Incipient. Is it like pre-puberty? 12 years old. Hey, he's 12. I want the definition, maybe. It just says definite, like, precocious puberty. Puberty that happens early.
An early bloomer?
Hold on. That was precocious. It says my virtual child. That's really funny, actually. Is it? I don't know. What is puberty? That's a good question. Honestly, who knows? I think I had puberty.
Think I've
Maybe it's like the start of puberty. That's my guess. Incipient. What is incipient? Let's dissect this. No, I don't want that again. I just want incipient. I'll use my own brain to figure it out. Initial stage. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Interest in girls. He notices them.
They're there.
They sure are. Wants sexy game. Grand Theft Auto 5. Wants to dress nice. You know, an interest in appearance.
What's the new Supreme Skateboard?
I can't spell. What else did he do? Smells bad? I don't know. How would you characterize your child at this point in terms of the under-controlled, over-controlled, or resilient category?
Stinky.
Is it stinky?
See
Nothing else.
above.
Have there been any changes since the preschool? Have there been any changes since the preschool period? Why do you think? I
Nah.
think you'd be considered resilient, maybe? Where it's just like, you know, the goated child. Oh, sorry.
Good child.
Yeah, child personality. Empathetic, understanding, sympathize with feelings of others, tend to be good communications, are able to solve problems. They have strong interest in school and dedicated to learning. They're driven to achieve goals. Yep, I'm just gonna copy and paste
I wish
that.
that were me.
I'm gonna say resilient. I want to say he went from under controlled. I should probably say that, huh? Yeah. Oh, but he went from what I understand to be under controlled. Decontrolled. I'll say it's 2 words, I guess. Too resilient. He is better at, he's goated actually. Communication.
Goated child.
Problem solving.
Besides him being hetero.
And he can be hetero.
Joking.
I support it.
Hetero.
You play hetero. Me and my 12-year-old son, we're like watching RuPaul's Drag Race on our Wednesday, and he's like, "Are you hetero? 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 Hetero?" Cardamon's turning the light switch on and off. He went from under control to resilience, better communication, problem solving, and
Son, you know you can tell me anything, right? For example, do you like milk?
being good at school.
You're raising the American dream. It's everything you hate.
Using the 7th grade report card and your own observations, summarize your child's academic skills at this. Goated! Goated!
With the sauce.
What specific activities might promote some of these skills? He's so good. What did I get him? Did I get him the lab? Encouraging. Can't freaking spell.
I
Don't
don't
look.
remember.
Encouraging his interests. That's all it takes. Reading with him. Overwatch 2 is playable, guys. Buying him stuff for his interests, which is, you know, like the lab. Etc. I don't know. People say parenting is hard. Is it?
I mean, you gotta be rich.
I'm fighting this program. And I'm still such a good parent. Sage is going to turn 14? What was he? 12 years? Okay, so almost 13. And we're jumping to almost 14. I feel like you need to talk about the 13-year-old.
Yeah, that's a big year.
That's a huge year. I remember being 13. I was dragged all across Europe. Didn't want to. Sage is going to turn 14 in 2 months.
Palace of Versailles, no thank you. I want to listen to my music.
He will start high school in 3 months. My boy's all grown up. You know, high school biology might be a bit of a challenge. Is it, though? He's so good at science.
No, biology's easy.
It is. You go on some nature hikes, getting inexpensive use microscope to look at pond water, ew, leaves and other stuff you and the kids collect, and attempt to increase. I don't think a 13-year-old would have any interest in doing this. Does this website know? Do these writers know what a 13-year-old does? I don't think they know. Sage recently said that you are more supportive and approving of him than the average parent.
Wait, you just said that?
Who would say that?
Mother.
He adds, and you're more strict than the average parent. Who?
Who says that? Who's asking you?
I know now he's been exposed to other parents, so that makes more sense now, but also...
Why would he say that?
Why would he say that? It's also in quotes, as if a 13-year-old would say, and you're more strict than the average parent.
Mother, you seem to be pretty supportive of me.
I mean, a kid could say that, but I think they wouldn't. I think they wouldn't even notice. They might say you're more strict, but only if you're, like, stopping them from doing stuff. Sage is a bit nervous about the transition to high school in a month or so and worries that his friendships will change. For the first time, Sage's 14th birthday party included some girls. Why?
I thought it was going to say for the first time Sage's 14th birthday party happened.
And he was sad.
I was like, well, you only have your 14th birthday once.
You're not wrong, I guess. The first... Yeah, no, there would definitely be girls at every single birthday party that he would invite girls. I feel like younger kids, like between the ages of like 10 and 13, there might not be girls. I think a 14-year-old is less likely to have girls at a birthday party than like any other age group under 10.
It's true.
Because then you're aware of them and you're like, oh god, I'm so sweaty and I have acne.
Oh, gee.
The kids seem nice, with a couple of exceptions. That's really rude, and are reasonably well behaved. The boys and girls mostly stay in separate groups targeting each other. That's really funny. You're inviting girls to your party, and they're not even talking with you? Do you know these girls? You downplay the whole high school thing. And yeah, I'm so confused. This entire paragraph confuses me. There's too much to unpack. You downplay the whole high school thing and tell him that you had some great times in high school, and it will be the same for him. Don't do that. I would never do this. This is kind of true. I didn't have great times. I didn't have a bad time. Most people, it's either the best or the worst time for them. It was so... I did. It was so mid. I was only there for like 2 years, and I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'm here to get A's. And
AIDS? What?
it won't be the same for him because he's a different person. First of all, he's a stud. Oh my god, he's so cool looking. Oh, he's got fuzzy hair. He stopped taking care of his hair. Or maybe I was slicking back his hair. He looks green. Oh, his name is Sage. That's perfect. Look at this Draco Malfoy looking kid. Hold on, let me zoom. He looks so cute,
Yeah, I
actually.
have my glasses on.
He's getting a little jawline. Look at him.
Look at that guy.
You trust him?
I do. It's my life.
He's got like monkey arms though.
He's a whole man.
Oh god. This is so funny. You and
Remember when
Sage-
he was just a CGI baby?
That thing was hideous. You and Sage were recently in a scary car accident. That was not your fault. That's
Oh,
so funny to
Good
me.
to know.
Both you and Sage have whiplash injuries. That's just like your neck hurts sometimes, but are otherwise unhurt. Unfortunately, the car was totaled. Again, this is the second car I've totaled in this program.
Well,
Over the last few days,
you're
Sage
already
has been
halfway there in real life.
argumentative with friends, sullen at home, and has had some nightmares. I also don't think that would be realistic. I didn't even have any attitude changes when I got in a car accident. You feel very stressed.
Have an attitude change from being in a car accident.
I mean, if it was really, really bad, like if you got severely hurt,
Me
maybe.
and Ruben nearly actually died.
Yeah,
And then I'm just like,
I'm a
well,
silly, goofy guy.
I don't think I want to trust Ruben on the ice. That's
I think what I learned
but
from
there's
this.
no like attitude changes. It's
Yeah,
just
no,
kinda
it's not like, ooh, I like
It was
what?
just-
This is like a
it was
dog died.
be in the moment.
You feel very stressed out having to deal with the insurance, doctor visits for both of you, etc., and your temper is short with your children. It wouldn't be. I was actively dealing with insurance. I didn't need a doctor visit. You probably wouldn't hear. And finals. And I wasn't even a little
All
bit
you
stressed.
need is an icy hot pack.
To be fair, I was stressed because I didn't have a car, and that's stressful. And then I had to pay for freaking car rentals, and I was, oh, let me tell you, I was on speed dial with the car rental place. They were like, hi, Julia, it's us calling again. I'm like, oh my god, hi, Stephanie, I'm so sorry. Yes, I will be taking that car for another week.
my
Yes, here is $1,000.
$1,000.
It was so expensive. Don't rent cars, kids.
Oh my god.
Or don't rent an SUV Jeep, maybe, because that was the only thing available, and I think it was so expensive.
It was awesome.
I can't get over how cute he looks. His monkey arms, though. I don't know, man.
His monkey
Does he still play hockey?
Definitely his mother's arms.
Partners, not mine, I swear.
Mm-hmm.
A student at Sage's school was caught with a knife and suspended last week. Does he know this kid? Is it Katie? There have also been a couple of drug possession busts and some fights, mostly among older graders. Sage has been a bit nervous about going to school lately. Also, I don't think he would. This is like every Friday at a public school.
This is what parents think kids are concerned about.
Yeah, no, he's concerned. He's
They would
stressed.
be making jokes
Because he-
about
yeah.
the knife and the drug bust.
Yeah, no. Yeah, absolutely. A 14-year-old boy? Are you kidding
They'd
me?
be like, oh man, hope I don't get caught with my
oh, I'm gonna bring a knife.
14 pounds of
They'd be
weed.
like threatening the kids at the lunch table with their plastic school lunch knife. Like, tell Sage he doesn't need to worry. As long as he stays away from kids, they'll start talking about violence or drugs. Rather than be blatant with your message, you tell some stories from your high school days of kids who were suspended just for being near a drug exchange or associating with kids who committed crimes on campus.
Don't do that.
And let him make up his own mind about who to associate with. You take this opportunity to tell Sage how severely you will punish him for committing any crimes.
Oh my god.
That's stupid. I'm starting to really disagree with this. Sage occasionally argues with you about issues such as bedtime. He's 14. Does he still have a bedtime? I mean, I
had
guess.
bedtime until I was like 18.
I guess curfew. I mean, bedtime would be like 11 p.m. probably. It shouldn't be, but it could be. Clothing choices, I mean, no, none of these. But otherwise, you get along pretty well. Your partner bases some of her responses to Sage on an article, How to Get Along with Your Teen, that she read online. When Sage behaves this
We're
way,
divorced, Farah.
you know you aren't going to get anywhere by continuing the discussion, so you drop it, let him calm down for a while before speaking again. I already know how to do this. I don't need an article that my ex-partner apparently sent me. I'm so pissed off at this game now. Oh my god. How old is Cardamom? 10? Cardamom functions fairly well in academics in 6th grade, with some remaining difficulties in expressive language and comprehension.
Let's go, Cardamom.
Although there has been improvement, Cardamom still has social challenges, being aloof, what a mood, not picking up on social cues, especially tone of voice, body language, and personal space, and not getting sarcasm, idioms, and jokes. I feel like he would, though. His limited interests are consistent with the ASD diagnosis and make others avoid him when it comes time to socialize.
Here's my question.
This is
How
so
is
basic.
Cardamon the only autistic one? Wait, you're not autistic, and Sage isn't autistic.
I adopted
and your
them.
partner isn't autistic.
I adopted them. They're not born from me.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
And they could be unrelated. It could be Cardamon and Sage are probably unrelated. Teacher wants to meet you about his IEP plan. The goals are to significantly increase social communication and expressive receptive language skills. You agree to the IEP, which involves a behavioral monitoring and reward system in the classroom and an hour twice a week with the learning specialist, and encourage Cardamon to try video production camp and robotics camp,
Yo!
which provide a different way to learn about the world.
Video!
To add to the school's effort to hire an ABA therapist once a week to help Cardamon develop his skills. I'm gonna say the same thing I did last time. This exact same question came up, and I was like, yes, and I encourage him to try new stuff. But all these are pretty good. Except for, like, don't emphasize the academics at home. Emphasize it academics. Sage tried out for the high school hockey team and made it! Yay! He seems to be very serious about learning little nuances of the sport. Oh, heck yeah. You're happy as having such a good time with hockey, and you enjoy going to the games. I mean, if it's Sage, sure. During a trip to a competition, students from one of the vocal groups at Sage's school stole some trinkets from a store, and they were caught. Is this competition like a hockey competition? They were suspended from school. Sage agrees with the punishment because they did not live up to the expectations of their parents, their coach, or their teammates. That's what you get for being a failure. Not me, though. I'm built different.
I'm too cool.
My parent is strict. He tried to bring up the laws of society against shoplifting, but Sage doesn't seem to think this is important as a violation of other people's expectations. That's fine.
I agree.
Bring up some hypothetical situations. What if they stole sore throat medication to help a sick teammate who could not sing that night? Sage was able to reason about these hypothetical situations and didn't change his base argument. You tell Sage it's more important to think about the legality of their actions in terms of state and federal laws. Why is it pushing legality me? I'm gonna choose this one because I'm like, what if stealing is good?
What stealing is good?
Because he's at the age now where it was before where he tried to lie. So he learned to lie.
Nuance.
Yeah. He learned to lie. I think he can learn it earlier than 14, but maybe he's just a little bit behind.
Butterfly don't say nothing.
Huh?
Pig says you're right to remain silent.
But at this age, for sure, they can, like, hypothesize about stuff. And he is getting into the nuances of the competition. And, like, he's nitpicking stuff. So it used to be like, okay, so you learn to lie. You learn that lying is bad. And now he's like, lying is bad. And all these things are wrong. Because they disappointed the parents. And it's like, well, hear me out.
Hear me out.
What if break his worldviews? Sage has been working hard in 9th grade and has some good grades to show in the current progress report. You say you're proud of him and celebrate going out to dinner at his favorite restaurant. What is it? Wings? Hoosiers? Hooters? Hooters? Sage's friend identifies as transgender. Is this the same friend? Because that would be fun. Which he explains as having a gender. Is my son explaining to me that is different from the gender he was thought to be at birth? Sage is genuinely curious about what transgender means.
You and Sage tried to explain to you what transgender is.
Sage does not know any other people identify as transgender. You help him understand the lives of people who identify as transgender by going online and doing some research.
Time he's come across transgender.
We watch RuPaul's every weekend.
What do you mean?
He asks a friend how you and Sage can help support his needs and be an ally to him. You are concerned that Sage may start to explore his own gender and become confused. You don't quite understand what it means to be transgender, but you fully respect it. I guess this one? Doing some research?
There's no option that you already know what it is.
Yeah, there's no option that's like,
and you're like,
LOL, look at this drag queen. I just.
Who wrote this?
A straight white man.
A guy named Carl.
A guy named Carl. Sage sometimes gets angry or rebellious. I mean, who doesn't? Usually it is because of something hurtful a friend said or because of problems at school, such as lost homework. Bro mood. Usually he retreats to his room. You let Sage have his space and listen to his troubles if he wants to talk. You tell him that life is full of these kinds of little problems and he should just learn to shake them off and move on. I mean, yeah, also that, but...
Shake it off.
Yeah. You listen to the problem and provide a similar story from your own teen years, preferably a funny one, to show Sage that his experiences are not unique. Usually end up laughing about it. Honestly, probably that one. Especially if it's just lost homework. Or if it's a thing a hurtful friend said, then I'll be like, listen to this, T. Get in on this, Sage. You try to get Sage to do something else, such as shooting hoops. He doesn't play basketball. Am I a dad?
Am I a dad?
Sage seems energized by all the possibilities in 9th grade and he saw the Red Bull he's drinking and has been hanging out with some new friends and getting involved in a couple of clubs. Sometimes his friends come over to your place and you genuinely like them. You do what you can to facilitate these new friendships and activities. Sure. You make sure Sage doesn't spend too much time socializing by enforcing the old middle school rule that all homework and chores have to be done before any socializing in the evenings or on weekends. You know that certain clubs and activities, such as student government, would be great later for college applications. Ew, no. You want to encourage independence and self-monitoring, so you let Sage know your priorities. Health and homework affairs, but you choose a schedule pretty much up to him. You enforce a reasonable and flexible bedtime and curfew and school nights. Yes, this is the time that you can encourage independence. You can have a cell phone at this age. He can go do stuff. Sage is quite accomplished now at drawing and is pleased. There are so many art classes at the high school. He decides to start with computer graphics. Why is this a choice? Why am I choosing for him? You encourage Sage to take the fine arts classes in the junior or senior year as a break from what might be a difficult schedule. You keep on encouraging him in drawing or construction projects that come home from school. Because you know what? These skills will be important as he moves on in school. This is a weird one. It feels broken. Because it's, first of all, this is not me. And then it's also computer graphics. Do I want to encourage him to move towards something new or encourage him? I'm going to say computer graphics. This game, it doesn't matter what I choose at this point.
He likes design, so.
Yeah, I was like, learn some CAD software maybe. Sage is a lot more interested in his appearance lately and wants to wear certain clothes, shoes, or hairstyles. He looks great. He looks so much better. From what you can tell, all of Sage's friends wear the same styles. You give Sage some new ways to earn money around the house so you can afford to look cool. You make a deal to give him a larger allowance than before and make it monthly. However, he has to pay for all of his own clothes and entertainment.
You're basically giving him money, though. So
yeah, if you're just like, I'm just going to give you money. No, you have to like do stuff for it. You allow some of these purchases as long as it fits your budget. You talk about the latest trends in music, clothes, etc. and smile every time Sage affectionately calls you a hopeless dork.
Sorry,
you thought the same thing about your parents. Ew, no.
Ew.
No.
My parents are not dorks.
No.
They're
idiots. You say as you're freaking doing something with your toes?
Hey.
I turned around.
A webcam. So you don't tell the
There's
audience
me. There's my eyes.
what I'm doing.
I'm cursed now and I have to pay for therapy. What are you doing? Stop it. Put that away.
God.
That's my bed and you're putting your foot on my pillow where my face goes. Stop it.
I'm not.
Ew.
It's up.
You're so...
It's up.
Keep it up.
Me, Cardamom. When Sage walks in on Cardamom.
Sadly, Sage has been bullied online.
No.
What? Did you get a mean comment?
Once he got
Just
bullied
the one. The bully goes by an
One
LIS
bullying.
name, so Sage cannot actually identify the person. The bullying involved teasing along with some pretty offensive language. Yeah, it's one mean comment. You report the cyberbullying to the social media site in the high school principal's office and disable Sage's account until something's done about it. You report the cyberbullying. You report the cyberbullying. It's all of them? You can't do that. Unless it was like at the school. So you have to report it.
I create a new account and then cyberbully the bully.
Literally all of these say you report the cyberbullying to the social media site and the high school principal's office.
I absolutely rip into this kid online.
And immediately comfort Sage, keep the lines of communication open so Sage can come to you, talk to him if needed.
I
and ban
ruin
all
his
social
life
media.
and any chance of
Definitely.
future career.
I'm gonna say keep lines of communication open, and he's a good boy and he will. Oh my god, this is why you got bullied. Sage has shown an increased interest in sexually related websites.
Yeah, that'll do it.
What is Tumblr? Tumblr's
Boobs.com.
boobs.com.
It's
I feel like a kid.
B-E-W-B-S.
Yeah. I feel like a kid would type that.
B3W.
He talks on the phone or emails his friends about the girls in his school. Well, that's normal.
Sage at
Emails?
night with his pink Barbie
This
phone.
is-
Hi, girl. Oh my god.
This is when this was written. He emails his friends.
How much did you pay for this?
$55.
$55.
I think it kind of does read the same as a freaking textbook,
Yeah,
right?
this,
Where they're like, it's
This is
like,
fake.
it is so.
And it's also like the parenting choices are so evil.
Recently, you found a porn video that had been downloaded on the home computer. How do I know Cardamom didn't put that there?
There's a home computer.
He just blushed and left the room. So I called him out on it too. Bro, that's brutal.
Cardamom was trying to look for people
Also-
in trains and
Yeah, found trans instead or something like. Home computer. This is so old. You figure he's a normally curious teenager, so you will manage to find things on the internet. Yeah. You don't place any restrictions on internet usage, but point out that you believe pornography is demeaning to women. Is it? And gives people an unrealistic view of male-female relationships. Yes. Try to place restrictions on porn
he's
websites,
gonna
but
look
you
at
doubt
porn
you've blocked.
anyway.
You doubt you've blocked them all. You confront him about it, and well, at least at the very least, if you block all the websites, you're training a hacker, so he
Yeah,
gets
it's
really
true.
good at it. State your opposition to porn websites on the grounds that they are demeaning to women. You figure Sage is normally curious, and you figure Sage is a person
You encourage him to go
that
back
you know
to
him in school,
church.
or that you both happen to meet in the store. Why would I ask him opinion of girls from his class? That's messed up. You also talk about the sexual personal even say says you're grossing me out. This one's okay. It could be so much better. Teenagers are naturally curious. Teenagers
You just
curious.
go, eh!
Big deal about teenagers occasionally viewing porn. You ignore the incident, keep an eye out to make sure he doesn't become obsessed with it. These are kind of weird. This one's funny because I feel like it would be training a hacker. This one, the idea behind it is good. Uh-huh. Like,
What's he saying?
he's annoyed that this thing is on him. Dude, I don't know. I would do half of these, but you don't want to, like, opinion of girls from class. That's so messed up. Is that what they want me to say? Is that what you guys did?
Well, I was too cool and never got caught. So.
Sage was having a long conversation with another student on a bus about all kinds of issues on which they disagreed, such as religion and politics. Sage listened to the other person's point of view, but when he came home, he wanted to tell you all about his viewpoints. Yes, spill the tea, Sage. You listen to Sage's views and find that they are fairly close to your own political, moral, and spiritual views. Gee, I wonder how that happened. You pat him on the head and say half-jokingly, so you have been listening to us. Who's us?
Ew.
All these years. That one's actually kind of funny, because that's a joke. That's actually very silly. You take this opportunity to explain your political, religious... Ew, no. You know, Sage gets bored with this very quickly, so you figure you'll bring it up in small bits. Yeah. Duh. You feel strongly that Sage needs to attend your place... Nope. You believe that it's healthy for Sage to explore alternative political and religious viewpoints. You read editorials from opposing political factions. No. Anyway. Sage has a more abstract understanding of people and personalities now. For instance, he points out ways in which his personality is like one parent or the other in a negative way. You try to joke around about some of the quirky or comical traits of each particular parent and child and try to lighten things up. You tell Sage stories of what you were like as a teenager, and he seems interested in these stories, especially the ones where he got in trouble. So none of them. You ask Sage whether he thinks personality is more genetic or environmental, and he asks whether any of the relatives has psychological problems. Is that like a read? Like, if I'm like, do you think personality is more nature or nurture? And he's like, do you guys have psych problems or something? Sage's 30-year-old uncle. So,
Me.
I have a...
It's me.
No. He's 15. If I'm like my age and then had a 15-year-old, it's... Let me do some math.
Probably wouldn't adopt until you're like 26.
Well, no,
or
even if it was like
27.
right now. If it was right now, like, ooh, how old am I? 25? That's easy to do math. 25 at plus 15, and I'm 35. Then this is Ruben. So Ruben moves into the area out of state and wants to reconnect after not seeing Sage for 5 years. Why do I suddenly have an uncle? The uncle is unmarried and wants to hang out with
What is he
Sage
even doing?
and play his favorite sport, tennis. His favorite sport is hockey. Does this guy even know my kid? Sage loved the uncle 5 years
Ruben's
ago
been gone for 5 years.
and does hang out with him and play some tennis, but doesn't seem ready to form a close relationship. I'm so confused. What is this? He doesn't want a father figure or something? I'm so confused. Did he change?
Maddie
He's just glitching.
smelled Momo's butt and like reared his head.
Oh
He
no!
was like,
There's a little jewel spot on my bed where Momo is. That's what it looks like. Over the summer, Sage has been less cooperative with your requests and is spending more and more time with friends. Sometimes you're able to shuttle Sage and his friends around, but it isn't always possible for either parent to monitor Sage because of your jobs. You let him go, but require that he always be reachable by cell phone, and if he is not available or does not follow either parent's instructions about being home at a certain time, or lies about where he has been, he gets grounded. I mean, yeah. Sage and some of his friends went camping with a close friend's parents. Sage had a great time, learned to use a compass to navigate in the woods. You don't know how to use a compass? Is this like this is all in the same age group? Okay. Over the summer, Sage had big plans to get some projects started, get involved more in sports or clubs, hang out with friends. He's gone on a few outings with friends, started one project at home, but sometimes complains of being bored. Remind him about the other plans and offer your help if needed. Okay, yeah, sure. You throw a 15th birthday party for Sage, with a few friends and some relatives.
Quinceanera?
Yeah! Sage is mostly interested in getting money, clothes, and music this time around. I mean, it wasn't.
Wait, doesn't have Spotify Premium?
Apparently
Or
not.
does he want like vinyl?
You didn't have a chance to go to a teacher conference at the end of 9th grade, but you have spoken with nearly all of Sage's teachers or emailed them with them at least once this past semester. You received his report card in the mail in early July. A's in fine arts classes. Comment that his work was very creative. He got a B in music. He's not good at music. He's not interested in taking music classes next year. Sage got good marks for citizenship this year and for most of the teachers. What is citizenship? Sage was able to take honors Spanish and English on the basis of his 8th grade record and got A's and commendations from the teachers for both. He also A's. He also got an A in world geography and an invitation from the geography teacher to participate in the travel club at school. Based on 8th grade work, Sage was able to take algebra 2 in 9th grade. He got an A. He also got an A in honors biology and received pleasure to having class. There it is.
There it is.
Ah! If you see this from a teacher, it means that you're not a bad student and they don't have time to think about you. So they just put pleasure to have in class.
God. Bitch.
Ugh. Has your team been involved in that might promote healthy behavioral practices, physical fitness, and skill in sports? Sports. Period. And as well as like hanging out with friends.
Better buy Cardamine cool Chewies.
Oh, maybe. Have there been any changes in your teen's behavior towards you or your partner? I mean, he's more independent. And that's it. Why are these occurring and how are you responding? He's more independent because he's older. Duh. I think mood swings is kind of what they're hinting at. Mod swings is what I typed. Mood swings are more common, but not severe. And he is, iOS is granted alone time to process his emotions.
Have him watch Frozen 2, it'll all be solved.
You've seen examples of how cognitive and physical changes in early adolescence relate to your teen's social emotional behavior. Yes. No, I will not elaborate. Well, he's like,
I forgot you got OG Dracula.
yes. He craves more independence and more adult-themed activities. Like, that seems so sus, but I mean, like, doing things with friends by himself with his cell phone and stuff, you know? Like, he's a little kid. He's 15! 16! We went from 15 straight to 16. Ooh. Sage has been dating someone for 2 months now. Hey, you and your ex-partner at work. Why is my partner still here? Why am I worried? Sage says that he's in love, and you're nervous that Sage may be rushing into a sexual relationship before either. He already dated someone. Your ex-partner has a talk with Sage and tries to... Why is my partner doing anything? He should wait until they are more mature and more sure of the relationship to engage in sex. They're dating for 2 months, and you think they're jumping to sex? What is wrong with straight people? Safe sex, condoms, birth control. Both hope that by talking about it openly. But it just says partner. I hate all of this.
Hate it all.
Just push you away. Instead, you go looking through Sage's room for clues. Ew. Your partner has a talk with Sage and states your ex-partner is complete opposition to premarital sex. Why? After talking with Sage, you decide to trust him to make his own decision. Honestly, yeah. Sage is enjoying being on a hockey team and is one of the highest scoring players. Hey, goated, the carry. The team has a chance to win the league this year. You help out in whatever way you can, such as joining the booster club and helping to raise money for the team. Okay, sure, whatever. Sage took the PSAT and did quite well on both sections. He's very cocky for a few days afterwards. It says he will not need to take the SAT prep course. That's so funny. That was me. You advise Sage not to rest on his laurels and sign up for an SAT prep course immediately. You figure it's Sage's life and he can do as he pleases. You point out to Sage that a person's real SAT score can be up to 50 points higher or lower than the PSAT, depending on what they do in between, or what kind of day they're having, and that can make a big difference in some... Yeah, I mean that one. You praise Sage lavishly and don't push the point about prepping for the SAT. You figure Sage's friends will start doing it soon, and he will get nervous about it and ask for it on his own. Nah. Sage is in honors English and history and is one of the strongest students. He loves to read. He has written some good pieces for the school. This is also not really realistic because it's like he's so good at math and science and he's so good at the languages. Like he wouldn't be that good at one of them.
Yeah, none of this is realistic.
That's fair. I found the school newspaper. You enjoyed talking about books with him and reading his stories. Yeah, like, yeah. I've only met like 2 people that were good at, like, super good at both the sciences and the languages, and they're both neurodivergent, so I know. Sage says that after visiting his friend's place of worship a few times, he has decided to follow this religion and attend his friend's family's place of worship. You and your partner don't attend a place of worship. Why is my partner so low? You're okay with Sage's decision. So long as he sticks with something, you are happy.
Is that a holiday? What's Moira say? She's like, it's on a holiday.
Oh, the happy holidays, but in Gaelic?
Yeah, but in Iron Gaelic, yeah.
Nullig. It's like,
Gaelic.
it's Nullig holiday.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're open-minded about other people's spiritual beliefs, and therefore okay with Sage's decision. You've been asked to attend a couple of times with him so you can learn about your child's new interest. You are skeptical that Sage's commitment will last for a long time, but agree to be open-minded.
What's his religion? Is he Satanist or is he Muslim?
It just says friends, family's place of worship.
Wiccan?
You engage Sage in discussion, sharing your own spiritual beliefs, which don't center on attending a place of worship, and gently try to change his mind. I mean, these are all kind of bad. Because it would be this one, but I don't want to attend. But I guess this one. Sage is constantly on the smartphone. The smartphone being one word put together. Both the S and the P are capitalized. Texting, taking selfies, posting on social media, and listening to music.
Oh my goodness.
You worried he will get tech neck from staring down at his phone?
Tech neck?
That is a real thing. I will say, if you're going to be on your phone,
Hold up.
have good posture.
This is the thing, though. It's like whether or not you're on your phone or like reading a book, you could have the
That's
same
true.
thing.
That
What are
is
you
very
talking
true.
about?
That is very true.
It's just looking down at something.
That is
bad posture.
Yeah. It became way more popular.
I
though.
get that while drawing.
Well, that's just you.
I'm like a shrimp.
Use scare tactics. Use Sage. You can use the phone, but you're not paying for it anymore. It is time for him to pay the bill out of his earnings or savings. You gently remind Sage that there's life off the screen, encourage him to read a book or expand his mind. He could be reading on his phone. You drive him to the library. I'll worry about a new puzzle for him. These are all terrible. Who wrote this?
How about you snatch the phone and throw it into the river?
Honestly, the best one is that he has to pay for it. But I would say not 16.
Phones are too expensive. They're like $1,000.
Also, he's 16.
Well,
He
why
can
am I
drive
still
now.
library?
Why am I still driving him to the library? Like, I know I can drive him, but like, why am I buying him a puzzle to work on with a friend? That seems very childish.
Unless it's like a birthday gift. And he likes puzzles.
The radiation? These are all. Can I skip? It's awful.
The radiation.
Yeah.
Mom. How many hertz is it giving?
I guess this one. Oh my god, I'm so sleepy. Oh no. Oh god, I wonder if I can finish it in the next 30 minutes. Because we're jumping years all over the place. Sage is occasionally moody, more often it seems, from something that happened outside the home, rather than
How old
anything
does it
you
get to?
did. I thought 18. But we might jump. We're at 16. We're halfway through 16. Your ex-partner bases some of her responses to Sage on an article. How to get along with you. It's the same article. Well, you say
She's
that.
been using the same one since you turned 13.
Why is she still involved? I don't understand. Sage's friend, who identified as transgender at age 14, wants Sage to attend a sport group with him. Sage wants to go, but is also anxious. You encourage Sage to go to support the friend during this transition. You tell Sage you will drive him to the sport group for moral support. You let Sage decide. He should do whatever is most comfortable. You warn Sage. This is heavy stuff. I'll drive him, I guess, and his
Not
friend.
heavy at
You can
all.
get McDonald's on the way. I don't know, man. Sage is focused on studying and is starting to look into possible colleges where he might go. He is involved in student leadership and plays leadership roles in a couple of school clubs.
My goodness.
You are happy to see Sage focusing so well in school and on extracurriculars, so you provide praise but don't do anything special. In addition to clubs and grades, Sage needs to do well on the SAT and ACT. You only need to do well on one, really, depending on the school you want to go to.
I don't even do the SAT.
I didn't do ACT at all. At the end of the junior year, so you help him get started with an online prep course. You know this is the most important year for the college applications. 16? That's 10th grade, is it? So you stay on top of Sage, providing reminders and nudges if he slacks off on homework. I mean, I was... Yeah, 10th grade. Yeah. Sage has pretty good concentration in class and is usually able to keep his activities organized. Occasionally, he gets too busy and gets stressed out. It's the old trait that they warned me about in his freaking preschool report. Because who doesn't? You work cooperatively with him on time management and study skills. You suggest that you drop at least one activity in order to have more downtime. You support relaxation and downtime, such as having a few friends over or going out with friends on the weekend. I mean, yeah. The first one and the last one are pretty good. Your family has had a comfortable income over the past couple of years, apparently, but recently you were offered a higher paying job that involves a 45-minute commute. If you take the job, your family will be able to get a new car, live very comfortably, and save more for college tuition. Why do I need a new car? Is it because it was totaled?
Why are you
You'll
saving
take
for
the job.
graduation?
A college tuition.
Oh, you're paying for it? My gosh.
I would be
okay.
a good parent and I would try to pay for his college tuition.
Wow.
You can probably get some flex time given the nature of your job responsibilities. You want to keep looking for a job like this, only a shorter commute. No one cares about the commute. I'll commute. Sage just got his driver's license after 50 hours of driving with you and passing the test. Hey! The driver training instructor reported that Sage was a conscientious driver. He never went over the speed limit, always came to complete stops, and was very alert. I mean,
During the test, you would be.
yeah.
I was
Driving with
careful
me.
there.
You are proud of Sage for being so careful in a world of careless drivers. You get him a used car with a very... I mean, I'm getting a new car, so you can have my old car.
Yeah.
You nevertheless want to ease into driving. You let Sage borrow your car, as long as he checks with you first and lets you know times and destinations. I mean, yeah, that too. You are happy now that you won't have to drive Sage around so frequently. He uses his savings, and you chip in to help him buy a certified pre-owned car. No, I try to buy him his first car. Yeah, it's a used car. The high school has a music requirement. It has been a while since Sage played an instrument. He opts for a class on keyboarding because at least it would help him finally learn to read music well. One of the school choral groups, a music history and appreciation music theory, as it potentially provides AP credit for college. But only for like musical stuff. I'm gonna say keyboarding because supposedly if it actually remembers the choices like I am, I had a keyboard in my house and Sage played keyboard. So supposedly he's good at keyboarding. Sage got a part-time job, hey, but it may become a problem. The job is a low-level, unskilled position that takes up 20 plus hours of his week. So like, I don't think you
Why
can
does it
work.
matter if it's low level? Of course it is. He's in high school.
Yeah. But also, I don't think you can work 20 hours as a high school student.
Can't.
I think it's like 10.
It's like 13.
You make Sage quit and ask him to look for a job that requires more brain power.
What the hell?
Work fewer hours. I'd say that
What
one.
would that even be for a high schooler?
secretary? I don't know. Babysitter?
No.
You wait to see if working this many hours affects his schoolwork. You'll assess in a few months. You're not allowed to. You had a similar job in high school and it taught you about the real world. Sage might struggle, but he will. I mean, to be fair, I would probably assess, but I would.
Written?
1982. At 13, Cardamon does fairly well in 8th grade, getting some A's, B's, and an occasional C in his non-preferred classes such as language arts and physical education. PE, you gotta see in PE, my dude. Cardamon has an amazing ability to concentrate on his latest interests, whether it be musical piece on the piano or finding... Was it Cardamon that played the piano? Oh, I'm so sorry, Sage. Or finding everything there is to know about a specific animal, such as the cane toad. Oh! I remember something. Ho ho ho, look at this little guy. Look at him. Look at him!
What?
Can I zoom in on this?
It's a little otter?
No, it's a stoat. It's Principal Nedzu, babes.
No way.
Yeah, he's got like bare ears, a little rodent tail, paws, long body. So
You're
you
not
can like.
kidding.
I'm not. He's like a weird weasel. Look at him! He's
I just see
he's living
white.
around that. Look, he got the mouse. There he is. Give him some New Balances. It's the principal.
It's a new ba-
So yeah, and they're native to freaking Asia. I don't know, man. Whatever that place is. He has one very good friend, just the way Cardamon
How
likes
about
it,
Sunrise Land?
who also has some quirky habits and interests. They get along well because they are so similar and don't really care to socialize with others. Cardamon is also doing well at advocating for himself when social demands increase. Example, when steps are too complex, Cardamon can ask for step-by-step instructions and more direct coaching. Good for him! You seek out some extracurricular activities where Cardamon can meet a few kids, such as nature-oriented clubs or coding clubs. Homie role plays, social etiquette, and social... He's 13! What to say and how to act in social... I firmly believe that Cardamon can develop self-advocacy skills by bringing him along for all Yes, he should be going to those already. And like Cardamon discussed explanations that have worked for him in the past. You leave the Cardamon has to learn to compete with regular students in the classroom in order to prepare for high school. So you leave it up to him to negotiate with the teacher. Yeah. Gross. Sage has had some arguments with friends and is a little subdued. You make some sympathetic remarks and give Sage some space, and you notice in a few days he's planning activities with the same friends and acting like nothing happened. Because they're 16. It was probably about weed. Sage comes home after curfew. You notice the next day that there's a dent on the right front fender of the car. You spoke with Sage last night when he got home, and he said that everything was fine, and the only reason he was late was because he had to drop off a few friends. Very sussy. You wait until Sage comes home from school the next day, and you point out the dent, and he confesses that he had a trash can in his friend's driveway. He told Sage that there is no excuse for not telling you last night, and that you have to pay the insurance deductible. That's not going to cost anything. Blah, 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 because you figure he was too scared to tell you last night, but it's how it happened. Apologizes. You say you don't have the money in the budget to pay their insurance deductible, so you have to save the money to pay or just live with the dent. You take away Sage's... These are all terrible.
Hold on. Let me say something. If you dent your fender
It's dented.
because you hit a trash can, then you just have a dented fender.
Like, how big is this dent?
Why do you care if your fender
Yeah.
is dented? But is this like a brand new car? There's no way.
No, it's not. It's not even a new car. And also, he's a new
It probably
driver.
already has dents.
Yeah, he's literally a new driver. And also,
It's
dent
fine.
is not like a bend or anything. Like,
Why
it's a
would you
small amount of damage.
Also, heat it up with a hairdryer, pop it out.
Yeah.
Don't care so much.
When was this written? Who wrote this? Sage is becoming more and more independent. Good. In one of Sage's attempts to assert his independence, he ran off with his girlfriend and got matching tattoos. No, at 16?
Oh my
That's so out of character.
my god.
There's
just find that
no
funny.
way.
You just find-
Because it would be
You
so
really- you
bad.
call everyone up like, guess what?
Oh my god, let me see. Let me see. No way. I would be like, bro, there's no way. Also, there's
What does
no
it
way.
say? XOXO.
Yeah, love forever.
Love for
You were a bit, I was a bit upset. I would be a bit upset because I'm like, that is kind of serious. You have to be 18 as well. So like, I'd be more upset that someone managed to tattoo him because they require. It means he went to a
That would
sketchy
be
place.
So dumb.
It meant he went to a sketchy place, and I'd be
they
so
did
nervous.
Stick and poke themselves,
Oh yeah, like if there was an older sibling that had like a stick and poke,
Yeah.
that would actually be pretty funny too.
or someone like training to be a tattoo artist.
You realize independence involves learning to live with his own choices. I mean, yes, but also he's 16 and he's still under my care, so it's my responsibility to make
Yeah.
sure. Honestly, what'd he get? Is his picture gonna change? And he always a tattoo like on his neck. No, no regrets.
Only not one letter.
Sagebrook Park. Also, how do you afford? What do you get? It's
It's on his
so
foot.
random.
It says-
it's a smiley face.
It's a smiley face.
That would be fun.
I would definitely.
That's so funny.
That would be a good decision.
It would be like it would be fine, but also like that's so suspicious and out of pocket
Who
for.
goes out and gets matching tattoos with their girlfriend though? That's what's weird.
It's out of pocket for his behavior.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, rebellious teenager, surprise. It's like, no,
You
this
can't just like
the person who wrote this program.
rebellious teen thing and then
Yeah,
like, watch one
worst.
like, Disney movie or something.
Yeah, it's like it's so. Whoever wrote this did not have a child. Sage worked part-time during the school year and wants to get a new summer job. Sage has applied to several places and has landed a part-time summer job working at a local grocery store. You're asking Sage to save half the earnings for college. I would ask. I don't know if he will. He bought a tattoo, apparently. There are several potential blockbuster movies to see over the summer, and Sage is eager to go with friends. You would like to see some of the movies, but resign yourself to watching a... Hello? Occasional video TV show with Sage. What, is this saying I want to go to the theater with him?
The theater.
Because I don't.
Because I don't.
Yeah, I would just wait till they come out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Here are some highlights from Sage's 11th grade report card. He got B in music classes here, typical, and seemed to enjoy the classes and learn a lot. Okay, so he likes them more because of keyboarding. A's in fine arts classes, past year annotation, pleasure to have in class. Excuse me. Can we not fight?
God, Atlas.
Beat him up! Snatch his wig!
Okay, leaves him alone.
A's in fine arts classes, notation pleasure to have in class, from the painting and photography teachers. On the teachers' recommendations, Sage has entered one painting and several photographs in a countrywide art fair. Sage received good marks for citizenship from several teachers, indicating that Sage contributed often to the class.
They also thought that his tattoo was hilarious.
He received A's in both trigonometry and physics, gross, and
Whoa.
commendations from both teachers. Because of these grades, he's eligible to take
You're telling me-
AP, Calc, Physics, and
Hold
Chemistry.
on. You're telling me he's like this in school? And he's
Yeah, that's what I'm
got a
saying.
magic
It's
tattoo
so
and
random.
stuff.
This person, dude, this whole program, I'm so pissed at from like start to finish. But also, that's like the most unrealistic
What the
thing.
heck?
That it's like, hi.
I'm sure some
he
teenagers
just
do that,
cracked.
but definitely
Yeah.
not a student like that.
Honestly,
He's,
I feel like it has to
funny
come. It has to come from the humor thing, where he thinks it's funny, and so it must be funny. It must be like a
must be funny.
Pokemon.
It must be a really good tattoo.
It must be like a good inside stick and poke.
And you already approved of it.
Inside joke, stick and
Probably.
poke. Yeah, we probably talked about it beforehand. He's like, I'm gonna get a tattoo, and I'm like, oh really? Of what? Your middle name on your butt? And he's like, maybe.
Maybe.
Like
How
it's an
did you
inside,
know?
and then it must be like an inside joke or something. Like that'd be so funny. So he's taking either AP Calculus.
I'm gonna get my middle name tattooed on my butt, and my middle name is Grace. So it's
Yeah.
like Grace tattooed on my butt. People are like, oh, are you religious? No, it's my middle name.
I don't think they would ask if you're religious.
Grace.
Sage was able to take honors English and American history on the basis of his 10th grade record and got A's and commendations from the teachers for
Got
both. I swear to God, I'm gonna smack you so hard. He also got an A in Spanish too and plans to take AP Spanish.
Spanish too. Can't wait for the release of Spanish 3.
Better than the original. Spanish, English, both history. You're so. What was that laugh? The dos. Get ready for this? Dos.
Dos.
Think about your teen's cognitive strengths and weaknesses and how they are reflected in his or her school grades and activities 14 and 16. He's so smart. He's so smart
Got a
still.
cool tattoo now.
I don't know what you want from me. What careers or courses of study might be suited best? He could do anything, man.
A physicist.
Except music, I guess. No, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully, he doesn't become a failed artist because with his interest in
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
How important have your teen's relationships with peers been to his or her social development? So important. They're so important. They're so important. He's got a little girlfriend. You know,
I bet they hold hands. I know. Maybe too soon.
That's what my partner thought. Freaking, 2 months they were dating, which means they saw each other at school 5 days a week for 2 months. And freaking,
One class together, 2 classes together.
yeah, they sit
Lunch.
together at lunch.
Yeah.
Ooh,
He
underneath
shared
the
he
she-
shared his carrot sticks.
she goes to his hockey games. I drive her to his hockey games sometimes, and we go out to eat afterwards.
Yeah. We get ice cream.
Yeah, at Flavor
Yeah,
Freeze.
flavor.
You know, when things are rough in the friend group, things are rough for Sage. I would say that's probably not that realistic. I don't know. How's your teen adjusted at 14, 16 years of age? Typical adolescent issues such as risk-taking, drugs. Is this supposed to be the freaking tattoo? He's normal. He's normal.
You got a tattoo of a butt on his butt.
Yeah, this program suggests he randomly and out of I'm just gonna say
Out of character.
he randomly got a tattoo, which is very out of character for someone of his character. Honestly, what's another word for character? Do I know how to spell tattoo? I don't.
Personality type of.
Yeah, personality. It's just like someone who gets that good of grades. Like Gideon randomly getting a tattoo?
He likes.
That would be hilarious.
He also was like saying stuff like, "Oh, people shouldn't steal because what we use."
To be fair, he probably said that because he knew that if you got a tattoo, I wouldn't be that mad about it. And I'm not. I was a bit upset. Because I'm like, who did this tattoo on you? Because freaking their hand
Were
was
the
so
needles
shaky.
clean?
Yeah, I was like, did they clean it? Did you watch them put the little needles in a microwave? And he's like, no, we just did it at Jeremy's house in the basement. Stick and poke, baby. And I'm like, that's nasty.
Disgusting. Now you really will have AIDS.
17! Woo, 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 woo. Sage has come down with a severe chest cold that has had him out of school for almost a week.
Whoa.
You help him recover, but comment this is what comes of all those late nights and weird eating habits. Okay. You think that he might be overdoing it with school and after-school activities, and suggest after he gets well that he slow down. You think this is entirely a chance occurrence and don't do anything other than help him recover. You think he's becoming a bit too independent for... I mean, yeah, that he's sick. Oh no, he has a cold, and he's been sick for almost 4 days.
Mhm.
Rip. Partner? What is THC? Is that a drug? Where did he get it? Can I have some?
It's weed.
It's okay. Oh, it's just weed. Need an immediate plan of action. You hold a family meeting and discuss the health consequences of THC. What is THC? I feel like I need to know this. Delta 9 tetrahydroanacannabino. Cannabino.
It's weed.
Primary psychoactive cannabinoid extracted from the cannabis marijuana plant. Yeah, so it is literally.
It's the stuff that makes you high in weed.
Wait, no, it's not CBD. Oh, it's slightly different than CBD.
Now, CBD, it doesn't really make you high.
Okay.
THC is the stuff that makes you high.
Chemically similar, doesn't have the same psychoactive effects of CBD. Connecticut, CBD products that are not sold by licensed cannabis establishments may only contain up to whatever.
CBD is like legal and like kind of has a minor calming effect, but THC is the stuff that gets you high from weed,
Yeah.
and that's illegal.
How does THC help with pain? How much CBD should a beginner start with? This is my son right now. I love those memes too of like the search history memes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are so funny. Oh my god. Is 25 milligram of CBD gummy strong? Pretty common lower dosage. I don't have a partner under the influences. You don't mind casual THC use as long as the products are from a regulated source, but you try to find out who has supplied Sage of the other drugs and forbid Sage to see them again. This is counter...
Probably they're friends.
Yeah, I mean, probably like a friend, the same person as the stick and poke. You don't see a serious problem yet, so you start off by casually reminding Sage of immediate consequences, such as running low on money, getting arrested for possession or sale. That probably. You are addicted to and have lost to drugs to show how harmful this can be. Yeah, I mean, you just remind him of the consequences.
It is incredibly hard to get addicted to weed.
Sage has several good friends and gets invited to parties fairly often. He's outgoing and well-liked, but not part of the most popular group on campus. campus. You pretty much leave decisions about friendships and relationships up to Sage. You listen when he wants to talk, and you make suggestions, but don't try to push him to make any big changes. Sage received his test scores on the ACT and SAT, scored in the top 5 to 10% in all verbal sub-tests and the top 5% in all math and science tests. Cool. You are extremely excited for Sage and begin to help him research colleges and prepare applications. Get out of my house! Sage is up for a psychology class the first semester of senior year. In high school, okay. He really enjoys the class and talks about it often with you. Sage jokes that he's always acting as a therapist to one friend or another. Wow, that's such a funny joke. Sage and a few friends decide to participate in the senior variety show. You are not surprised that Sage and his friends have a good time coming up with a comedy routine. He's so funny! With good-natured spoofs of some of the teachers and administrators. That's actually hilarious. Good for him. Become a theater kid.
True.
High school's over, and you're pleased to learn early in the year that Sage got into several colleges, including a couple of very selective institutions, primarily on the strength of his grades and scores on the SAT. Got a scholarship from a prestigious out-of-state institute and ended up sending an acceptance letter to this school a couple months ago. He was assigned on-campus housing. It is early summer, and you are already helping him get ready for the big move. Get out of my house! Is this Cardamom? Who the heck is this? Is this supposed to be Sage? Why does he look like that?
Hold on a second, put on my glasses. I need to see his glow up.
He looks so... his hair... Wait, hold on. Did he have a widow's peak the whole time? Why does he look like that? There's something about the hair shape that I don't like. I don't know. I don't know about that.
What's with the wrinkles on the shirt? What?
Yeah, iron your shirt, boy. I'm just kidding. I don't care about wrinkles.
No. It's like they're not right though.
No, of course it's not right. Nothing is right.
It looks just weird.
He's got armpit stains. He's sweaty from working out. He's bending over to the side while being sweaty. And that's what... it's not wrinkles, it's sweat stains. You notice that Cardamom is able to mask social uneasiness and repetitive behavior in simple and familiar public settings, such as the home. Isn't that, like, not good, though?
Not good.
Yeah. But that's probably what they're teaching him. So that was probably considered good at the time. That's what... they're like, oh, you wait for services. And the services just teach him how to be normal, which is masking.
Yeah.
You're supposed to...
Literally,
anyway.
it's called masking.
Yeah.
Because it's not your real behavior. It's like, you're just mimicking nerves.
You can learn to
people.
cope, but yeah, those things are common in the classroom. Although it takes about 3 months for him to settle in with a new teacher in class. However, symptoms such as avoidance of eye gaze, repetitive speech or actions, or anxiety attacks tend to come out in unfamiliar, stressful, or socially demanding situations.
Poor kid.
On another issue, Sage and Cardamom have developed another issue. They care about each other, even though sometimes they can be at turns annoying, off-putting, or remote. I mean, that's just siblings. A sure sign of this is that when one of them has a problem, the other is concerned and tries to help. Unrealistic. You try to encourage the cooperative moments between siblings and ignore the conflictual or cold behavior of one or the other. Leave them to work out their own responses to each other unless one of them does something that is not in tune with your family values, such as lying or being insulting. You can't control that, but you do give advice or comfort when called upon by one another. I'm going to say that one, because one's 18, and one is a few years younger, so like 16, I guess. Sage has a summer job, but also finds time to hang. Good for him. As Sage heads into his next set of adventures, you reflect on your relationship with him at this point in both of your lives. You've managed to be an excellent parent, thank you, in terms of both discipline and warmth. Sage is very close to both parents. I got rid of her. She was weak. But of the two, he's closer to you. He seeks out your advice on important issues or questions that are a bit beyond his experience.
Why would he be close to the other one at all?
Just she was around. As the program ends, what pathways does your child appear to be on in terms of physical, cognitive, social, emotional, and good ones? He likes sports and is good at them. So maybe he'll be in college hockey. He's super smart and studious and enjoys school, so he'll be super good at grades and learning, school/learning. He has friends and is able to reconcile with people. So he's social. He has a great sense of humor, mine. Learn from the best. and is open-minded about things. Good for him. To what extent could you have predicted these pathways based on what you knew of your child's earlier development? I mean, it kind of just is based off of like my choices as a parent. I'm like, I'm going to try to be this. I'm going to try to be open-minded. It's predictable, and I cannot spell. One day maybe.
You encouraged reading and stuff.
Yeah, that like I would model behavior I would want to see. Is that not how it's spelled? That's probably the British way it's spelled. Yeah, there you go. When do you think your parenting mattered for your child's development based on evidence from the course regarding the contributions of parent development? I just said I would model. Yeah, okay, boom. Describe the specific ways in which your child developed that appeared to be influenced by factors outside your control. I mean, friends, genes, random environmental events, or the general influence of contemporary middle-class American culture. I mean, yeah. Strong.
That was middle class?
I guess, because occasionally it's like, you're worried about money. And I'm like, am I? Because I'm paying for this fancy daycare.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be, like, rich. You can afford daycare for both your kids.
He had comparisons for things outside the home to witness. I don't know.
You bought him a car and, like, science lab stuff.
I bought him an old used car.
And,
To
like,
be fair.
music lessons.
Yeah. To be fair, if I had a house and was just paying rent on the house, I could, like, buy a car. It's not that expensive.
You had, like, support.
What else? I
apartment.
adopted him, and then...
That's expensive.
What is?
Adoption.
Yeah, it is freakishly expensive. I don't even know, but I know it's, like, a lot. Tens of thousands, I think. Bonus question! Based on your child's cognitive abilities, psychological adjustment, and your child's plans for the next 2 years, think about what your child might be like 2 years after the program ends, at age 20. Write answers to these questions. What careers might your child be interested in, and why? Oh. What careers might your child be interested in, and why? I mean, anything.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah. So you're super good at maths and sciences. So... Oh. Probably something STEM related. Since he's like super good at it and always has been. How do you think your child will have... This is a word now. How do you think your child will have adjusted to issues of increasing independence and self-reliance at his age rates? I think he would be great on his own. He would thrive on his own and become the responsible friend in his friend group. Responsible yet fun. That's always the goal.
Except for that one slip up where he got tempted.
That's honestly funny. That's gonna earn him like street cred. How do you think your child's friendships and romantic relationships might be going? They're going great. Thank you for asking. I've been invited to the wedding. Congratulations! You completed your simulation. You can view all of your work by selecting the review decisions button listed below, which will take you back to the beginning. Okay, so I did it in just under 6 hours.
Yippee!
We raised a child, and I freaking hate this program. I have thoughts, I have notes.
Now you gotta do a messed up kid.
I feel it'd be,
All the bad decisions.
I feel like it'd be still lame. Like, how... I think it would hurt to do it, because it's the stuff it pushes
So
you towards.
long.
Watch it be like, you click everything wrong, and it comes back to you gay. And that's, like, the punishment. The real crime is he went from, like, cute high school hair to this ugly dome piece.
Doesn't like sports. No.
He's so basic. So Sage, I guess, didn't get diagnosed with ADHD, despite having...
All the symptoms.
Well, yeah, some of the symptoms, I guess. Yeah, man, it's so stereotypical.
But also, like, he couldn't regulate his emotions very well. That's like a big thing.
Well, Eventually he did. So maybe it was just like learning coping mechanisms. That's like, oh, you taught him how to cope with emotion stuff at home, so now he can do that. But I guess he's a normal person. I don't know, man. He's got a job, a girlfriend, a smartphone. Bro is set for life. And I guess a job.
And a dent in his fender.
He's got a car. He's going to a good college, I guess. I wonder what he's going to college for.
Being motivated through high school is shocking to me.
I was motivated.
I wasn't.
I know. I know, Sam.
I'm sad.
Well, that's my boy.
That's my boy. Can't wait till he creates Atomic Bomb 2. The Dose.
Yeah. Man, I don't like this program. Anyway. Bye.